And we're live here with Real News, episode 48, 17, 16, depending on, no. And for 6 minutes, it'll be 16 days out from the election, almost only 2 weeks. And the big October surprise is out. Hunter Biden, exposed, pay for play, Burisma, Ukraine, all this shit. Very complicated. I think we should kick it off with this, and then we can go into all of our other random shit we like to talk about. But biggest story of the week, because not only is this a big scandal for the Bidens, but I'm going to pull up the New York Post article because this shit is being censored like you wouldn't believe. Twitter and both Twitter and Facebook banned people from sharing this article. Banned it. Can't post it. I mean, I'd shown this before when you couldn't post censor.tv links for Gavin McInnes's channel with Milo Loomer, all those other people. It's getting worse. And I mean, again, there's always like a preemptive to this, and then the big thing happens, and then Normie's like, oh, I guess this is a big deal now. It's like, yeah, wake up. Wake up. What do you guys think? Think this is real bad? Think it's going to derail the Biden campaign? Do you think it's going to be a no-show, or there's more, or what?
I don't know what the hell these social media companies were thinking. Like when the story came out, it was obviously it was dirty, and we've always thought it was kind of we knew that there was some sort of sketchy going on over there, but I mean it wasn't like I don't think it would have really swayed much of anything, because you got the left thinks Trump is dirty, the right thinks the Bidens are dirty, so there's that wouldn't move the needle, I wouldn't say, all that much. What happened, I think the real issue was the Facebook and Twitter censoring the New York Post article. Like that, to me, is probably the scariest of them all, because you're talking, these social media companies have crossed that line now where it's obvious, like they're pushing an agenda.
Yeah.
And so now it's people are starting to see, even liberal, we've even seen a lot of liberals say, hey, this ain't good. This is not good. Because they know that whenever something shady like this happens, they know that the pendulum tends to swing the other way in the future. It doesn't just swing one way. Eventually it will swing the other way. And it usually does. But
well, I think what this is really good for the Trump campaign is because it gives 2016 nostalgia, if you know what I mean. In 2016, we were chanting, lock her up, because she was so corrupt. The email scandal, the pay for play, all this deep state establishment elitism that Trump had exposed. It was his camp. It was the biggest contrast. That he's like, I'm not taking PAC money, I'm not taking donors money, I'm not going to be bought off. I'm going to be the real deal, fighting for the people. And Hillary Clinton is just doing shit for the rich, and wheeling and dealing favors. And again, like Biden was I think this is pretty devastating, because Biden was kind of selling pretty well that, hey, I am working class Joe, I'm gonna have good trade deals, I'm going to made in America, buy in America, made in America, whatever Trump's saying was he was stealing. He was trying to steal his thunder, but now the contrast can't be more clear, because it's like, oh, he's just like Hillary. And then Trump has that great contrast. And you even heard people at his rallies now chanting, lock him up. It's great.
Well, yeah, I think what Phil was saying was absolutely correct. Like, if they would have just let this go, like Twitter and Facebook just treat it like any other story, like no one would have gave a shit. But the fact that they went, this reminds me of Gamergate, where like it really blew up after all these people started censoring the story. Like Reddit started censoring it. Like I think even 4chan started censoring it. Like all these things, they started censoring it, and the only reason they do that is when something's true.
Yeah.
As like look at the New York Post. Like a lot of people think it's more of like a tabloid, journalism. thing. Like no one would really give a shit. Like, oh, they said this, and they also said that like the royal family got like cucked by like I don't know Michael Jordan or something. They just do headline like stupid shit like that. But when they see this, and then you see that reaction, obviously, this isn't just a bullshit story. There's more to get here. And I liked how you bring up that advertisement campaign. So I was driving home, and I heard that same one where like, oh, Joe Biden won't raise taxes for people who make under $400,000 a month. So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that's pretty fun because didn't your son Joe? You say that you're this working class guy, but your son Joe, your son, what was it, Hunter? He made like what was it, 50 grand a month for this, Ukrainian gas company. It's a Ukrainian energy company, which not only is that he's not a gas or energy man. He's a military dropout due to cocaine and like smoking crack and strip clubs. He's not the type of person who would really even deal well with a fucking McDonald's job. But when he gets a 50 grand a month job, he's making like what was that, 600 grand a year? It's something insane. And then Joe says, "Oh, I'm middle class." Oh, bullshit. I heard somewhere else that like Joe, like he was complaining that Joe Biden was like taking some of his like fake earnings. Like I read,
they were saying now from what I was hearing from like because Rudy Giuliani's doing the press rounds, with all of this, and they're now saying that Joe Biden is actually getting a cut of some of this shit.
I bet. Well, what they're saying is that he basically funneled them, like basically, I guess you could say laundered the money through his son in a way. If you know what I mean. Like his son was kind of the middleman. This was really Joe Biden's deals, but he was using his son to like collect the money and kind of be like the little sort of like I said middleman. And really, it was like all about Joe.
They call that a bag. They call that a bag man in the crime in crime lingo.
Yeah, money bag man. He was fucking laundering money for his dad.
Yeah,
and working with foreign powers. Like, wasn't there like an act or something where you can't do that? Like, if you're
there's a lot. There's a lot to go into that one because first off, you can't meet with a foreign entity without. First off, you can't do it without government approval, right? You can't do, and it has to be it has to be recorded and accounted for.
That's right. Player.
There's a couple of there's a couple of emails that show that Hunter Biden met with people and there was no account of it at all, but it actually happened. Like there's a couple of accounts that these meetings actually happened. And like and you notice the Biden campaign, they didn't deny it.
No,
they didn't deny it. What they said was, "Oh, such a meeting didn't take place in our schedule. Like it didn't appear in our schedule." Well, like that doesn't tell me shit. Like it
won't appear on the schedule because it's a fucking black box operation.
Yes, that's like so the whole explanation, it just made it worse. It just made it way worse. I'm like, and of course, when you look that sloppy, people are going to start digging. Like journalists are going to start digging because they love this sort of thing. And we're just continuing to find out. And now we're starting to find out shit with China. These deals that he's starting to make with China now, and it's bad. Oh my god.
Well, and let's get into also the repair shop. How about that? He drops the laptop off at a repair shop. It has like a sticker on it. I think it was like a Biden sticker or something like that. I'm trying to look through the articles. Like, I have not been able to pay enough attention to the story. And the guy that worked at the store, I think like the FBI came to him and basically like threatened him. They said like, yeah, you better, like, I forget what they said. It was something like, if I were in your position, I'd keep quiet or something like that. I forget what it was, but it's pretty. It was really bad. And they made a copy and gave it to Rudy Giuliani's lawyer, and it got to Rudy.
He made the computer repair guy. He was really smart about it. He made four copies of that hard drive, right? So he gave two of them. He gave two of them to two of his friends just in case something happened to him, right? He gave one to the FBI, and then he gave another one to Giuliani's lawyer. Like that's some smart shit right there.
Yeah, that was like, wow.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to know though. It's like, why would you even bring a fucking computer to a repair shop with your fucking hard drive in there?
I know, it's so stupid.
If you're like a fucking government,
I'm thinking. So
anything shady.
So you likely what happened was there was probably like some sort of spyware or some sort of like real nasty shit that was on his computer. And yeah, that's likely what happened. Well, and maybe because he's deep in his drug problem, he's probably not thinking peace, like he's not thinking straight. So he just dropped it off and probably just forgot about it because he didn't. It's not like he stopped taking drugs or whatever. But so he probably just forgot about it, and that was it. Right.
Here's the thing with dropping a computer off of those places. Like they are known, like Best Buy and stuff, Geek Squad. They'll search your computer for child porn. And I'm wondering if maybe the guy did that. Maybe there was child porn on his computer, and we didn't hear about that yet.
Well, the FBI's had this for months, and they didn't do anything, which sounds to me like stalling and other stuff, because the FBI is probably the most corrupt institution out there. And I got like a text, I think it was from InfoWars. It was pretty clickbaity, so I don't know. I don't think it's true. I won't say I don't think it's true. I don't know if it's true. It said, "Watch live, confirm Trump has footage of Hunter Biden raping and torturing little girls set to release."
Yeah, I don't know about
that.
That's
a big claim.
But what I think, like when you think about this is even worse than the Hillary Clinton email scam, because at least she was, like she was supposed to be sending emails to people. I mean, she didn't encrypt it though, but this guy, he was doing basically illegal shit for the United States. This is like Iran-Contra level shit for the fucking vice president but not to go and fund someone. It's just to fund his own pockets. So this is actually probably worse than the Hillary Clinton email scandal, because at least she was ostensibly doing official work on the email account. He definitely wasn't, because the guy can't even pass a piss test, let alone like an actual vetting process. Like there's no way this guy's gonna be fucking vetted for anything other than like maybe being clear of some STD. And that's only a maybe because he hangs around with some weird hookers and strippers.
It says also in this article, Steve Bannon told the New York Post, about the existence of the hard drive in late September, and Giuliani provided the Post with a copy of it on Sunday, which I guess was after the story was published, or right before it was published.
And of course, one of the questions, like right away, I was thinking, and I'm thinking Alex might have thought the same thing too, because he's kind of in that profession. Like, if we got it and they got it last year, who's to say that these other countries, who's to say that China, Russia, North Korea, that some of these other countries didn't have that shit first?
Oh,
right?
They if we have it,
right?
They probably fucking.
And
have
if they did, was there leverage?
Oh, that's why Joe Biden's all kissing ass to China. But here's the thing with that too. It's like they said Trump was had this blackmail about him getting pissed on by Russian prostitutes. Complete fabricated bullshit.
But big tech didn't censor that.
But with this, this is something that actually would be we have evidence. This is blackmailable stuff against the Joe Biden administration. Like, you know, whatever, like, it's literally whatever shit they say about Trump, they're doing even worse.
That's
you know?
why they do it, and that's why I think, look at the Ukraine shit they threw at Trump. They tried to impeach him over it. Oh, well, they did impeach him. They didn't remove him from it. But they impeached him over Ukraine when really they were the guilty ones. It's like...
Isn't that funny too? They want to do all this Green New Deal stuff, but you know, all these like Democrat politicians' relatives are all working for these like oil and gas companies in like Eastern Europe. At least, you know, it's like, what's going on here? You know, these people are so full of fucking shit. It's do as I say, not as I do if you're a Democrat.
Yeah. Yeah, I found the repair shop guy thing. That's what I was looking into. And he said that oh, also here's the crazy part. The guy that does this computer repair stuff, that runs computer repair shop, is blind.
Okay. Why would you hire him? I mean, he's probably actually really good. Maybe he's good at his job. Like, I mean,
but then he doesn't know technically who dropped off the laptop because he can't see him. Obviously, he's got security cameras, and he does say it's
dirt on you. The Chinese sure can.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, of all the places he gives his laptop to, give it to a blind.
Maybe he thought that was why he could trust them.
That's what I think. When I first heard that, I'm like, why is nobody talking about how crazy this like small detail is? Like a blind guy running a computer repair shop, and he happens to give it to this guy. I think that alone is like a big important detail. And oh yeah, he says this guy claims the laptop in question belongs to Hunter Biden, has not been substantiated, but he told the New York Post that he determined it was Hunter Biden's because the laptop has a sticker from the Beau Biden Foundation, which is named after his late older brother.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the white the guy whose wife he's banging?
Yeah,
that's nice.
I mean,
that's real fucking nice.
If they have the emails, they can pretty easily probably see it was, you know, from, you know, at h.b like h.biden or something, hunter.b at like, you know, fucking Gmail or like joebiden.net or whatever. Like, you can find out who fucking owned it.
Oh yeah,
it shouldn't be that hard to fucking do. You know, just look at their fucking history. Like, good lord, like I'm honestly wondering if there's like child pornography on that computer.
Well, I was seeing something on Twitter. There was something on Twitter, and I don't know if
pictures of him with a crack pipe.
No, well, that's the popular one. But I'm saying there was something that I guess an FBI agent was looking into, and that FBI agent is said to handle that sort of like child porn, sex crime type shit. Like, so hold on to your hat. There might be some news. There might be some news along those lines coming.
Well, have you seen what Jack Posobiec has been saying? He's been teasing that he has, I believe, I'm gonna check his Twitter, but he's been teasing he's got like the real juicy stuff on it. And it sounds like he might have his hands on some of the emails. I wonder if WikiLeaks has their hands on these emails. What was that?
Well, he's in jail.
Well, yeah, Assange is, but I don't know what's been happening with WikiLeaks because they are still a functioning, you know, organization, if you want to call them that.
Here's my conspiracy theory hat, right? What if Donald Trump was trying to extradite him to the United States so that he could pardon him?
I don't know about that. I think
because the establishment, they want him gone. The establishment want him gone. What if, right? What if he was going to try to get him over to the United States and then pardon him as soon as he got to the United States?
What if they
can't, because you can't necessarily pardon him while he's overseas, because that doesn't really mean a whole lot of shit.
Someone else could throw him in jail. They could try to extradite him then.
Exactly. Once he gets to America, though, it'd be like, Okay. Pardon.
He'd be a funny story. What if he like extradites him over here? What?
What did you say?
What if Trump extradites him over here, Julian Assange, and like has him do some like paperclip shit and like decrypt all the shit on like Hunter's computer?
That's what I'm kind of
Yes.
thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Like, especially like, what if Biden were to win, right? And then the last month Trump's in, he just decides to just nuke the whole fucking world with some fucking unbelievable dirt.
That'd be pretty. I hope he doesn't win. Fucking.
Well, no. Of course, I hope he doesn't win. But I'm saying,
See, that's
should
what
he lose, should Trump lose, then it'd just be like, well, let's just go nuclear, and everybody knows now who officially killed JFK or some shit.
Yes.
Like,
Well, he'd already been releasing some of those, which was nice.
Yeah.
I think this is why I think his second term is so important. It's like in those final weeks of his second term, or even just in overall, he's gonna have no reason to worry about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna at the end of it just like fucking like unredact, release every little thing on the deep state, on the CIA, on the Clintons, on the Bidens, on whoever it is, the Bushes even. I mean, I think he's the most transparent president ever, and you can't argue against that. And I think he's going to make it even more transparent after this. But this is what Posobiec was tweeting out and getting like 30, 40,000 likes on these tweets. He started with on October 16th, and he's been pretty quiet on Twitter. He's been a busy boy. He says, sure would be a shame if at OAN got our hands on brand new emails from Hunter Biden's firm. Stay tuned. You haven't seen anything yet. And then he said, been sitting on this for a week now as we are getting everything prepared for release. We're almost ready. Hold fast. I think he's going to release it, by the way, this Monday or Tuesday. Because we're running out. What?
I heard Sebastian Gorka was talking like something about that too on the radio.
Yeah, I think it's this. He also says, if you think Ukraine was the only Eastern European country Hunter was involved in, think again. Hi, Moscow.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Russian collusion with the Bidens is coming out.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was working with Iran too, because they had that like fucking sweetheart Iran deal.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if there's some other shady oil and gas, exchanges going on with that. Or maybe he was like fucking smuggling drugs to this country. I don't know. Yeah, no one has to smuggle drugs because he probably snorted all, but
Yeah. I think it's gonna. I think this. Look, this is the October surprise from the right. The left fired theirs off early with the Woodward book, with the Atlantic fake news, and it was all fake shit. And so they're trying to say that about this stuff, like, oh, it's fake. Don't look over there. But I think we said this off air right before we started, which is that this was already one of those stories that would just kind of like been oh, that's bad, whatever. But big tech censoring this story made it a way bigger story than it was going to be. Way bigger. I mean, the censorship, they suspended Kayleigh McEnany for a while over this story. They suspended Jack Posobiec for tweeting out a meme about this story with the pictures of Hunter with the cigarette and the crack pipe. They, they went all out on this. And I think the bigger, look, because we all know Hunter's corrupt. We know Biden's corrupt. It's like, okay, that really isn't news to us. Maybe to the normies, it breaks something through to them. But will this big tech censorship actually break through to the normies where they actually give a shit about it now? And I mean properly give a shit, because I still don't think it's enough. I think it's got to get way worse before it gets better. And you want to know the biggest tell is you see, Goons is right in the chat. It's Streisand effect in full force. Yeah, this is a case where the Streisand effect does happen. I think with the big tech censorship, though, it's not enough. You need more of it, because just look at how the Republicans are reacting. I'm talking about the Senate Republicans. They were showing videos of them trying to tweet this article out and they wouldn't let them. That's good. But what's their response? It wasn't, let's make a bill to finally, once and for all, permanently revoke Section 230 protections from big tech companies. Let's break them up. Let's declare them monopolies. Let's make them public utilities. Let's do this, that. There's none of that coming out. You know what's coming out? Let's hold more hearings with Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg to ask them why they were being bad. Let's pull them in time out.
Those fuckers lie out of their teeth.
Yeah.
And these fucking boomers up there are like, you make the Google iPhone and
They
it
have to
does
be
this
careful,
and that.
The Senate, these Senate people have to be really, really careful now. Like they have to tread really lightly, because if they don't do anything beyond the traditional hearings or whatever, people are getting sick of it. Like people have already seen through the bullshit now. Like in the past, this shit would work because people were thinking, oh, they're gonna do something. Oh, they're really gonna crack down. Now it's like,
It was all for show.
unless I see something different, I'm just gonna think you're full of shit. And they're right. Like these people are full of shit. And they'll fuck around and maybe get themselves thrown out of the Senate, like, via vote.
I still don't, and that's where I think we were disagreeing a bit earlier this week. I still don't think it's enough. I think, look, I think the problem is that, again, this is a, look, in my, cynical way of having to solve this censorship, this is a good step. What the Twitter and Facebook doing, censoring these articles, is a good first step because it's actually affecting the average person way more than before. But at the same time, the biggest base of Republican voters is boomers. Boomers don't use Twitter. They use Facebook, kind of. But, like, until they're actually banned, like, big time, are they actually going to be like, okay, shit's gotta stop now because I can't go on Facebook? It seems like it needs to almost come to that point. Or some really big people like Ben Shapiro and Trump himself get banned for something to actually happen. And it's frustrating because we're ahead of the curve here. We get it, but everybody else doesn't.
They need to get aggressive. Like they need to do more. Like I like, honestly, they need to do more. They need to do more than these fucking hearings. Because
the hearings are just show.
Really,
like, that's all it is. It's just show. It makes them look like they're doing something when they're not. Because the biggest problem, and this needs to be exposed, is that all of these Congress people are bought off by big tech. They are in the pockets of big tech. It's like the oil companies all over again. Everybody hates the oil companies, but guess what? Nothing gets done to them except some stuff because they buy off the politicians. It's simple. It's lobbying. Big tech is doing it, but nobody talks about because, we love our iPhone. We love Google. And this censorship doesn't affect me. And, well, I mean, tech's powerful and all, but you don't have this like spooky image like you do with the oil companies that the left have been able to paint. But the tech companies have way more buying power, and it's way more effective, and they're way more dangerous because not only can they buy off your politicians, but they control your information that comes to you. It's an information war. It's an info war, and that's what's bigger.
Well, here's the thing too with like Facebook. At least I know there are people on the left who even want to see Facebook, get broken up. Like I think there is bipartisan support. It's just the establishment on both sides want to protect it. I've heard it's so fucking funny because I've seen people say, "Oh, Facebook's full of right. It's like helping Republicans." It's so bullshit. Like if you actually stay on there for 5 minutes, you'll see it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But these people actually,
it's not so much it's not so much left versus right when it comes to big tech. It's establishment versus non-establishment.
Yep, that's
you can see the difference, and it's like, well, if they're saying, oh, well, there's lefties and righties there, they're right. But the problem is, it's like they're not talking about it from a
modern
as
perspective.
as new as nuanced as it's supposed to be, because it's like you have these establishment people that are bought and fucking paid for. They're not moving. They're not going to budge. They'll do the business as usual. They'll do the little hearings, and like they'll let shit move. And then like there's not going to be. I mean, there's not going to be enough people who aren't bought off that are going to be able to really move the needle, because the lobby, the tech lobby is it's large, and it's getting larger. And I don't know. Like
There's only one.
I think it's mostly Facebook, really.
Well, it's Facebook and Google. Google's huge too.
Yeah, but like Twitter, I think they're not doing too well from what I understand. Like that's why you see all these new ads and shit on there, is because like they're not making money.
Yeah, they probably have the least buying power, but Facebook and Google, and probably Apple too, have like the most. And Goons is saying in the chat, it's worse than that. At least the oil companies couldn't dictate culture and truth at their own whim. Exactly. That's what's so big about this, is these tech companies. They are engaging in information warfare. They are controlling, not just like, they are manipulating you on a daily basis. The oil companies can never do that. All these other lobbying groups really couldn't do it. The cigarette companies really couldn't do that. People, well, they did for a while, but people realized smoking was bad. We got to that point. But
it was a while though.
Yeah, it did take a while, but their buying power, again, it's a different dimension almost. They don't dictate the information flow to the point where they're manipulating you and who you vote for. Facebook manipulates who you're going to vote for. They really, it's just a next level stuff. But
I would be interested though. Like, I mean, this isn't even tech companies. The people who make the fucking like textbooks and shit. I'm interested in that. Like that, no one talks about that, but like I think it's all owned by like a bunch of left wing companies. Like look at the only thing I hear about that's like the 1619 project, but like everything else. Why aren't conservatives looking into that?
Well, actually, that's a good point. I remember, and I hate this guy, but John Oliver actually had a video on textbooks. I remember if he's what he's saying is correct, then it wouldn't surprise me. Is that it's like a monopoly. A few major companies make these textbooks, and that's why the prices are ridiculous, or part of the reason. And also, and he never says this, of course, but that's also probably partially why it's a one-side view of the world. It's all leftist, Marxist garbage. But yeah, they should look into that. I mean, that's a good point. Like, you should look into the lobbying power of these publishing companies. And it's, again, like, we beat this so much as to how bad big tech is, and it's like nothing happens. And Trump really can't do a lot. Everybody will like bitch at him, like, oh, he keeps saying he's monitoring the situation. All he can do is sign bills and do executive orders. And executive orders, frankly, are kind of pointless on this issue, because once he's gone, big tech just has to buy next president and revoke that. And nothing. We're back to square one. The only congressman that isn't bought is Matt Gaetz. He's the only one that's not taking PAC money, special interest money. He's the only one that's for real, and the only one that's actually fighting big tech. The only one that brought Section 230 to Trump's attention. That's why you gotta get Loomer in there. I harp on it all the time, but she is the only one that would actually do something, along with Matt Gaetz, on this stuff. The only one, because she actually gives a shit. She's actually been banned. These people haven't.
Yeah, no, I think it would be like there's a whole just like fucking web of shit that's like completely like the big tech, like they're probably one of the most visible ones right now, but like if you dig deeper, I'm sure you'll find a ton of like other sort of things. Like, why do you think people are being like pushed to go to college so much? It's not because like, you really need it. Like most jobs probably really don't need it, but they push it because that's where you get indoctrinated from. You can be homeschooled. You can't be home colleged.
Oh, God. Yeah, the Judiciary Committee voted that they will subpoena Facebook on Tuesday along with Twitter.
Oh,
wow.
It's like fucking student government over there. Like, what are you gonna do? Oh, we're gonna have emotion this, emotion that, and we're gonna go and have you like lie on your teeth.
Jack Dorsey's probably gonna do like he did last time and not even show up. He's probably like
I fucking hate the
Zoom
European
in.
Union. At least they fucking find them.
What was
he's
that?
like
One thing I'll give them for that. They'll find them like Apple and like Google got like find like hundreds of millions of dollars and like billions of dollars and stuff. But like for the it's significant, but not significant enough.
like yeah, he's probably gonna be like, look, I'd love to go to Washington and attend your fucking party, but I would rather do more important things like masturbate and take a nap. You know, like who do these people think they are? Like they're just like when they're saying, oh, we're gonna subpoena them, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Like obvious, like when are they gonna realize that the other side knows that they're all talk no bite, like all bark no bite?
Yeah.
Like, do they know? Do they actually know and don't give a shit, or are they just kind of stuck on their own? What's left of their ego? And I don't, maybe it's a little bit of both. I don't know.
I think we need to have some people fucking demonstrate because this is a fucking bipartisan issue. Like nobody likes big tech.
Mm-hmm.
No one fucking likes it. The left doesn't like it. The right doesn't like it. It's just the insiders versus the the outsiders.
Yep.
That is the only issue here. That's what, and it's not even like, it's only people get money from them. That's people who like it, or like just like not even talking about the censorship. Just look at all the bad shit it's done, like Facebook. Like, good lord, you can make a fucking top 10 times Facebook fucked up, because they've done the straight up unethical and illegal shit, and they've got caught before. No, they'll pay $1 million fine here, and we'll do this over there. But like, look at fucking Facebook. Just they're probably the worst, but Twitter does similar shit too. Like, when they had people like get their accounts hacked, you saw the ability to go and shadow ban. Like, just the concept of shadow banning is like fucking something out of 1984.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't even know that they could strike down. We didn't know that they could directly block access to a fucking URL. Like, we learned that this week.
Well,
like
no,
that they could
like I said,
unilaterally block a URL from the fucking site.
They did that with
like
Censor.tv months ago.
Well, see, I mean, from a cybersecurity standpoint, I can see why, like if it's a malware link, okay, but when you use it for political websites, okay, that's a completely different fucking story. But the other thing, like just Facebook, like they've done so much shady shit, like violating laws. They allowed people to advertise to like ethnic minorities different rates, like completely bypassing like equal, like fair housing laws and employment laws, and they even like outed gay people by selling their homosexual affiliation to fucking advertisers. If you really want to go find out if someone's gay, just pay the fucking like Facebook. You can say, oh, okay.
But it's all political, and it all tends to lean in one direction. It leans in, or does lean in one direction. This is where we are really, this is so, something has to be done, because this week has gotten so egregious that there's no going back. There's really no going back. Either something has to be done or we're fucked. We are really, really, really fucked.
What I'm worried about is that once Trump's out of office, let's say nothing gets done to fix this problem. You want to talk about we're fucked? That is like mega we're fucked. Because unless Gates becomes president, nobody else is going to do anything about this. Nobody else.
No.
Unless somebody else comes into it.
Like, I think at some point, like, it will reach
a level
where there will be and there is bipartisan support, but once younger people in Congress actually know what the fuck a website is, or what an app is versus a fucking just a website versus a fucking program and all that other shit, because the people out there, they don't fucking know any of this. They know that Facebook's this like, oh, this is a website, it's not too bad, but then they don't know that like it listens to your microphone. You know, like, have you ever had that happen where you'll be talking about something and then like you get all these fucking ads on Facebook?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I've straight up had that happen multiple times. Like they do it, even if they don't want to tell you about it.
Yeah, and I think, and that's the thing too, is like, I think, I do agree that there is going to become a time, well, there's going to be a breaking point. There's a breaking point of everything. There's always a counter shift. You know, there's a reaction. It's going to happen, but is it going to be too late that the damage is already too deep and too much is done? And secondly, I think it's only going to start happening when more millennials are in politics, like Gates, other people like that, Loomer. Like when you get more millennials in there, because they actually get technology, they get the importance, they get all this shit. These boomers, not only they paid for it, but they like, you hear them up there, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I'm like, you people aren't going to regulate big tech. Big tech is going to regulate you. They are so many light years ahead of you guys, that no matter what you do, they're going to find a way around it. They're going to find a loophole. They're going to create some new technology. They'll get around it. They're just so behind the ball. And we've been talking about it so much. We did a fucking speaking event about it at Penn State. Like, we couldn't be shouting, this issue any louder. And again, it just feels like there's the pressure is on the Republicans, but it doesn't mean anything because they're just bought and paid for. Gates even tweeted this out recently. On the 14th, he went, if my fellow representatives would join me in refusing all PAC money from big tech, it would look less like big tech gets away with everything because they buy off Congress. And he's so right.
Hey, hold up. We have two new comments in the chat.
We do. Michael Cursa, we even lost Drudge, who knows who owns that now. That's true. Drudge's been a major disappointment. We can talk about that in a second. Goon said big tech has a blacklist of on all words and URLs that go against their narrative. This is only next level shadowbanning. Yeah, like I said, Censors.tv. It's one of the first big ones. I'm still shocked you can share InfoWars articles.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're right. Like honestly, like, what did happen at Drudge Report? Because when I used to listen, like when I used to go and tune in, it was like conservative, and I was like, because after I got banned from Facebook, I need somebody to get the news. That's usually where I'd hear it from, and I was like, let's go listen to this, and all I see is anti-Trump this, anti-Trump that. I was like, the fuck happened to this dude? Did he fucking sell out?
Well, I'll preface my opinion on Drudge, which I didn't know who the fuck he was till 2016. That's probably because I'm a Zoomer, wasn't around when the Bill Clinton scandal broke, which is what he became famous for. And I never really used his site. Even when I found out about it, I'm like, it looks like shit. It's kind of like hard to read. I do not care for the Drudge Report. I never did, but I did appreciate what he did in 2016 by fighting for Trump. But now he's going the other way. He was also very pro-Obama, too. So he seems like a guy that's, I hate to use the term unironically, but grifter, or just opportunist, or following trends, whatever you want to call it. I don't like Drudge.
Yeah, here's the thing with Drudge. Like, I mean, I never was a big guy, like, listening to it, but, like, his website does look like it was out the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
Like, you see all these nice websites, like, you can use, like, fucking Squarespace or like literally anything, but he's using like fucking HTML, like probably 1.0 to go and like make his dog shit website. Like, let's be real, like, who is he appealing to? Like, oh, look at this, like, it looks like you made this with like fucking basic ass HTML. You probably like, I don't even think he does it himself. He probably pays like his like kid or something, probably like Skittles money to get him.
I've heard he still runs the site. That's what I've heard from people, because they've been wondering if he just like gave it to somebody else, he sold it, and kept the name on there and acted like it was his site, because he's very private and doesn't talk a lot about what he does with people, and it's a very like, he's a very sort of like strange guy in many ways. But I think the idea of the layout was that it's very simple, and that you could just get to the point without all the clutter, but I find it hard to read.
Does he even make his own content? So I thought like all of his website was just linking.
Well, it is just linked. Yeah, it's an aggregate site.
So it's like, I understand like back in the early like that made sense because you didn't have Google and shit. But like now, really, like he literally creates no fucking content. Really, he just aggregates shit like a fucking search engine or like a Facebook feed or any other service. But all the other services look a hell of a lot better than his like ass website. Like it looks like a fucking unbleached asshole on a fucking Sunday, you know?
Well, and it always, to me, what was always weird about the layouts, it has this one big banner at the top, which makes sense. And then it's got this main picture with the main link above Drudge Report. What I've never understood is there's these few random links on the top left above it, left aligned to the left. It's just, I've never liked his like layout. I think it's just wonky and very outdated for today. That's why there have been alternatives created like Revolver, Revolver.news, which is similar to Drudge, but it looks a hell of a lot better if you want to go with that style. I'll link it right now in the chat so you guys can see. And that's what I think guys start doing. Like, again, that's why I tell people, drop this shit. Stop using Drudge. Stop using CNN. Stop sharing the links. Stop giving them the ad revenue. Stop giving them the clicks. Stop giving them the views. Use alternatives exclusively.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to look at fucking, to look at what news, because it's like, there's so many agendas, and it's like especially like with the mainstream media, somebody's whispering in their ear, right? That's pretty much what it is. Like with the mainstream media, they're owned by media corporations, and somebody's pulling their strings. Like, I just, so I can't view them as news. I can't go by what they say at all. And like, so it gets really difficult. It does get really difficult. And then even some of the other stuff, so even some of the conservative stuff too kind of irks me a little bit too. I feel like most of the time, most of what I listen to or look at is a lot of the independent. Like I like a lot of the independent stuff that I see on Twitter, even if it goes against my narrative, 'cause at least I can see where, somebody's pushing out something like what they see, what they, what they gather, what they put together, and not like whatever Disney or Comcast tells them to say.
Did you see the 2 new comments?
Yes. Goon said they've been pushing it little by little as time goes on. Now it's the point where Facebook demands your photo ID for creating an account. Wow. Alex, I think you can relate to that.
Oh no, that's funny because the other guys asked me what I think about Breitbart.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have you know what you thought? You had an angry face.
Yeah, I did a fucking angry reaction to a fucking Breitbart article. It was like it was saying that the left was comparing who was that, George Floyd to Martin Luther King. I thought that was bullshit to go make that comparison. But as soon as I did that, Facebook immediately upon like entering the angry react, my account got locked and they required me to give a photo ID. And this was back in, I think, like May or June. And I still don't have access to my Facebook account. Like just the other day, I was reaching out to them because I was like, hey, can you give me my information? They're like, oh, no, your account's locked. And I was like, okay, well, what can I do to get it? And they basically want me to go and provide like additional, like I think 2 additional forms of like identification to go and even delete my own fucking account. Like
Social security number and picture of your butthole, please.
Like it is getting ridiculous, like some of that stuff that they're requiring. And like I don't even really want to delete my account. I fucking want my Facebook account back.
Mm-hmm.
I like Breitbart. They can have a little bit of clickbaity headlines sometimes, but I enjoy their stuff most of the time. But honestly, like now that, because I used to have it always pop up on Facebook, I haven't really seen it much since I was on Facebook. Like honestly, most of the news I get now is probably from the fucking like FM radio,
Wow.
and like fucking podcasts on the internet sometimes.
Yeah, and I think see, like, a lot of those things aren't being done or fixed right now because of COVID, from what I understand. So hopefully they get back to their asses in the office.
For like June 3rd or 6th or whatever the fuck it was.
You mean when the last mail-in ballots counted?
Yeah, they'll probably do that as soon as that happens. As soon as voting's done, I'll probably find myself with my account back.
Well, because I've been dealing with other things where I've been trying to, like, I don't want to say get customer support, but like things like that where you need to like actually like deal with somebody at a company. And they're like, oh, this team isn't available because of COVID. I'm like, great.
Dude,
great.
that's just bullshit.
It is
I
bullshit.
think,
you can do it from home.
well, here's the thing. Like, even on a good day, you can't get access to people on Facebook. You know, like they don't, like, for being a multi-billion-dollar company, how come you can't talk to a real live person? You know, like I go to fucking like Walmart. I can go to like a fucking, you know, like a little like mom and pop shop and call up their phone number, and I could get a hold of a live person there. But somehow Facebook, who pays like app developers like 400 grand a year, you know, shit like that, like 400, 600 grand, they're paying these fucking developers, but they can't pay some dude in the fucking call center, like, you know, like $10 an hour or $15 an hour at the high end. Like, what the fuck is going on with that?
Yeah, it's pretty bullshit, and I know I feel bad for you because it's like I see people posting shit all the time, and I'm like, yeah, I always remember I'm like, yeah, they've banned people, and people like Alex aren't on here now.
Yeah, no, it's annoying, but you know, hopefully one day I'll get back because there's a lot of people that, you know, I only really had contact through Facebook, and you know that sucks now. And like I even ran my grandma's fucking like hair business from fucking Facebook.
Yeah,
And you know, she is a woman-run business, like small business, you know, but Facebook doesn't care about that.
well,
You know, they say they're all pro woman and pro, you know, they want to help out the little guy, but obviously not. They're full of shit. Fuck Facebook. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg. Fuck them all.
Fuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg.
One of the other things from Facebook that Phil found, one of our friends proposed.
Mm-hmm.
What?
That's some Ned Flanders looking shit out of that.
You know that is such a perfect...
I'm not going to say his name, but...
I know, I'm not either. Do you know how perfect that analogy is? Because he's, like, super religious, too.
Yeah.
Like, super Christian.
It almost looks like... It looks like Ned Flanders turned into a fucking Mormon, and that this is, like, the outcome. Like, it's the weirdest looking thing ever. Like, just weird. I don't know, like...
Wait, it looks like they propose in a fucking backyard.
Well, I guess you can't really run out a lot of places right now.
Yeah.
I know, but it's like I see a fountain, which like kind of makes up for it, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he proposed to her in a fucking business industrial complex or something.
Backyard proposals, I've seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, if they're done right, but yeah,
it depends where the backyard is and its significance, but it's like, you know,
and maybe that's where the first place they had sex, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had the fountain right there.
Yeah,
well, wait, no, they're Christian, so they were super Christian.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, yeah, I know. It probably means the opposite. They probably like banging every night, but like
Christians are the biggest whores. God damn it!
Fucking are, man. You know, they were like, "Oh, you never not a whore. We don't use condoms."
Bullshit.
You know, some Catholic people, you know.
Bullshit.
I mean, I'm Catholic, but, you know,
look, I learned about too. Like there was one other. I won't name names, obviously, but like somebody I knew that somebody I know knows that was probably the one person that's like, you know, she might actually be a legit trad girl. And I even said to this person, my friend, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised, though, if she's just like the other ones. And sure fucking enough, learned some new details. It was like, oh, wow. Imagine my shock. They don't exist. I am convinced. I know everybody will say, but I know this one. And I'm like, well, do you really know them then? I'm just saying, look, it's the one hill I will die on.
Yeah, I did know this one fucking like they do exist, but they're not at college. I'll put it that way.
You know,
I was in this like a museum program at one point. There was this like one like if you want to talk about drag girl, like she was.
You know how I know she's a whore. She has a
Wow.
vagina and she breathes.
No, but this girl was so fucking like trad. She was in like this Church of the Open Door or something.
Church
know what
of
the
the
fuck that
Open
is.
Door. You know what that
But, like-
sounds like?
Like all the other people were super feminist, and this was like the only person that was like not a fucking like blue hair feminist. And this was like my first real experience with these people. So I was like, okay, you know, at least I'll talk to her. And she's like, and they asked like, what are your aspirations? Like, oh, I want to get like married and have a husband by the time I'm 20 and like have some kids. I'm like, Jesus.
20? What the
Yeah.
fuck, man?
Yeah.
That means that if you're gonna have a couple kids by 20, you're gonna
Oh,
start
she wants
fucking
to
by
have
17. Like what?
She wants to have a bunch of kids. Like it was like one step away from like fucking Amish, like these sort of like trad levels.
Dude, the
But they-
Amish are something else.
They exist, but you won't find them at like fucking Penn State, you know. I mean, you might, but
X
that's
to
not.
doubt, dude. X is being pressed. Well, and the thing too about this guy, he's like, I think he's only a year older than me. He's like 23, 24. Like, dude, pump them brakes. Just
Well, I
pump.
can see that. You know, I know.
Well, dude, that's vagina's their only main source of entertainment. Like what the fuck? Like, look, they can't look because they don't do electricity. So TV, radio, all that shit, that's all out of the question. Like all there is goat's milk, whoopie pies, and pussy. That's it. That's it.
Talk about the Amish.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I mean, you got the goat too, but you know.
I actually had
mean-
to stop at multiple Amish farms today because this is the last weekend to register to vote. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you about. Phil, did you update your fucking address?
I sent the thing. I
Just
sent
go
the thing.
You sent
Internet, you can do it fucking online. Up
Yeah, that's
well,
what
he
I meant.
did because he is
Yeah.
a normal person, but there are people out there that don't have internet and don't have even a
like
car, so we have to drive there, drop them off, and pick them up if we can't mail it to them or something else happen. Or even if we, I think this one was mailed, but they couldn't bring it in because
they're Amish.
they're fucking Amish.
I love that religion. You know,
Dude, visit a farm and you'll change your mind.
dude, I've been to like Amish places all the fucking time. Like
Have
I
you
was
been
from,
to the real
York
Amish?
County. Dude, you mean Lancaster?
I don't know what the York ones are like, but like, dude, man,
Dude,
I was at
they're-
2 of their farms today, and
Like, I
dude,
go to the Amish, like they had this place up by Brown's Orchard I'd go to all the time. They have car shows and shit there, but it was like a big Amish market.
the ones
Yeah,
at the market are only like a taste of it, dude. Like,
I've done
these
Tahoe before.
people are.
Well, I mean, I was
something
behind a
else.
fucking horse and buggy, and me and my friend were like blasting like Hank 3 or something. Like it was some like
I
think it was-
deliberately blast like Nirvana or Baby Drive My Car when I go by their
yeah,
carriages.
then, like it was like this kid on a fucking horse and buggy, and he's like sort of like rocking out. It's like, yeah, dude. I was like, I feel so bad for this kid because he's like his music is like some dude's reading a fucking Bible. Probably. I mean, there's nothing wrong
They
with
don't
religion.
have music, I don't think.
I think that maybe they sing the hymns, but maybe.
Well,
maybe
look,
that's too much for 'em.
I mean, because I have to drive around those horse and buggies every day. It gets annoying as shit. I'm just like, dude, get a car and you'll get somewhere. Secondly, when I was at a farm today, like picking up one of the voter regs, like the kid was like, you think I'm like skinny? Like this kid was emaciated. Like his cheeks were like sucked in. Like he didn't have cheeks, and you could see his bones. I'm like, man, I feel sorry for you.
I used to love driving by Amish communities and blaring the Spawn soundtrack from my car. You got the one song that's like Satan, 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 Satan.
What you need to do is like get them Amish girls out when they're on like Rumspringa, and you can go and like try to do like
Rumspringa.
shit like that.
Yeah, Michael Curtis is like, I'm a Christian developer with 4 kids. See, at 30, that's not bad. Okay, so 30, that's not bad. What we're talking about is like people that are like, they knock up chicks, and then as soon as they're born, they're looking at their watch, going, okay, when can I bang her again? All right, like.
Dude, that reminds me of this like Christian forum I like saw online out, and it was like some dude bragging about how they try to come as fast as they can so they don't have impure thoughts or whatever. They try to go and make it as quickly as possible. He's like, oh yeah, dude, I got down to like 30 seconds. And this other like fucking parishioner or whatever, he's like, oh dude, I beat you. I went 26 seconds. And it's like, Jesus. I mean, if that's what you're into, go ahead. But like,
well, the thing with the Amish. Oh, sorry, you cut out there.
That's like those real fucking Puritans out there.
Look, the thing too with the Amish, you gotta understand something else. When I am doing my hundreds of recruitment calls, and when we're stuffing all these mailers to the Amish, because we sent voter registrations and mail-in ballot applications to every single Amish home in Lancaster County, it was like thousands of them. And here's the thing you notice quickly, is that you start stuffing them and you go, wait, I already gave one to Ben Stolfitz. I already gave one to John Byler. I already gave one to... Wait a second. There are like... No way. There's like 100 people. They're Amish with the same fucking last... Oh, fuck. And you start thinking things, and you start realizing what's actually going on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of... there's not that many Amish out there, so, what do you think goes on?
Yeah, and then you look at them
lots
and...
of DNA chain-shaped family trees going on. Like a lot of...
Yeah.
Intertwined.
Yeah.
Mess going on.
See, that's why they have a lot of kids, so that like their kids can have more kids. Like it increases their population so that they have more people to choose from. Hopefully, that aren't as related to them as others.
It's just like I have problems with these like extreme religions. The moderate Christians that go to church every Sunday, feed the homeless, and give back to the community, and are upstanding citizens, and follow morality in the Bible, all that jazz, but are still cool, normal, fun. That's what we need. That's modern Christian. And I know they don't like this modernism, some of them, but like that's to me what's like that's good.
I mean, it's
okay. Well, Amish are a little bit of an edge case there.
I know, but you have also
there's
Islam.
some good ones. I mean, it's just like every religion, I guess. There's some good ones and there's some really wacky ones.
But what is the percentage? That's the thing. It's like, or like even in their ideas, like, are we getting a lot of good ideas or are we getting a lot of bad? Scientology, a lot of bad. Islam, a lot of bad. Christianity, a lot of good. Yeah, you're gonna have your Amish and your like Puritans and your Catholics that think condoms are bad.
Well, see, the thing with the Catholics and the condoms, you're not supposed to be having sex outside of marriage, so it's not like like that's the first thing. So the fact that these people are having sex outside of marriage without condoms, that's just the first thing should take precedence over the second.
That's true, but it's like I think that's just a very impractical belief. Even though I think it's a good idea, it sounds good. I think it's impractical.
Wait until you're 21. I mean, you can get married by then in a lot of places.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be getting married then.
Well, like, for the longest time, like 21, my grandparents got married by that age. So, like, for most of human history, that was fine. Like, now it's a little bit different because everyone's going to college. And the only people who get married when they go to college are, like, fucking Mormons.
Dude, there's another group, Mormons. My God.
Yeah, at least they're conservative. For the most
that's
part.
The thing with the Amish. It's like, well, here's the thing though. The Mormons, I believe, do most of them vote?
Yes, Mormons absolutely. Like that's why Utah's.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought. Okay, and I want to start ranking religions. We'll get in some trouble. Well, maybe we should. Fuck it. But
what religion votes for what party? Like Mormons vote more Republican than any other religion.
Well, see, the Amish, percentage-wise, are the ones that vote overwhelmingly conservative, like probably like every single one. But the percentage of Amish that vote is fucking small. They have this thing against voting. The reasons are different depending on who you ask. Some think it's against their religion. Some have these like, I don't want to call it a pastor. I forget what they call. I think it's a pastor. That like is like the head of their town, and they listen to whatever he says and they follow it. And those people say no voting, and so they don't vote. It's weird as shit. I don't get it.
You get in league with the Amish mafia and like convince those pastors like bribe
Pay them off.
Pay them off in like fucking horseshoes and shit.
Oh god, yeah, it's just so. I think it's very strange. To me, this stuff is very strange. Cause like I remember in like elementary school, we used to do like field trips out there, and we were given like the beautiful, rosy image of the Amish. Oh, they're just simple people living a simple life, and they have this cool schoolhouses and stuff. Then you like read into some of the real stuff about the Amish, and you start to go, okay, there's some problems here.
What's the red? What are your red pills?
The Amish red pill. The black and white pill.
You want to talk about that, like black and white? I'm surprised the left hasn't like gone like declared war on the Amish, because they're pretty much like white.
They're all white. I don't know if a black Amishman. Fucking, I don't even know if that exists. If they saw one, they'd probably all like freak out. Like, what the fuck?
They're all inbred for the most part. So.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things they don't talk about. Is there's a lot of inbreeding, a lot of incest, a lot of wife beating, a lot of diseases, I'd imagine, that come with them. That's what comes with incest and inbreeding. There's probably some stuff to do with their kids. It's a little messed up. I mean, I'm not implying pedophilia or anything, but who the fuck knows? I'm just saying, in any religion or any group where there's incest, inbreeding, child fucking, there's just anything that's out of the norm, you're gonna have issues.
Well, how do we know there's child fucking? I mean, they don't.
I didn't say they have child fucking. I'm just saying any group that has these sort of like things, like in that category of like, that's not monogamous, I guess you could say. There's not.
Monogamous. It's not like Mormons where they have like 12 wives. But no.
Well, yeah, but in the Amish they have like 12 kids. New ones aren't...
That's true.
Well, and they all have like those bowl cuts, and they all dress like the same ways. It's like, I mean, I'm getting a little nuts over it because like I have to deal with it every day, but I'm just saying there's like a lot. What?
They're trying to be very plain. They don't want to go and appear as like show offy. That like I understand it, but I mean they take it way too.
Driving down the highway in a horse and buggy is the most show offy thing you can do.
Not for other Amish, they have like it's supposed to be simple, but like it's a little bit outdated. They don't really.
Well,
it's very
their thing. I think part of their thing is like they're
trying to live in their olden times. Like it's part of their religion.
It's not so much that they don't want to use electricity. They don't want to be reliant on electricity. Like their thing is we should only be reliant on God. That's like one of their core beliefs. And
then don't plant any seeds and don't water your crops then.
I think with electricity, the whole reason they don't use that is because back when electricity first came out, it was considered a show-offy thing to use electric, and it was considered a luxury, and they just sort of never adapted to that because they technically they don't really need to ish.
Yeah. But those deep religions are very against reliance on earthly things.
Oh yeah.
Like that's like one of those key hardcore religious principles, I guess. It's like they don't want you reliable on the earthly things.
Yeah.
So what they do, being from a place that is heavily populated in the with Amish people. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, they use some fucking electronics.
Well, even my dad, like when he gets some like work on shit for construction, like they'll use power drills. they'll have a cell phone or a pickup truck, but then nothing else. They, like the one I was at today, they had a fucking backhoe. I'm like, okay, you have the horse and buggy, you have a backhoe. Like,
Well, I think some of it too is like you use a minimum of what you absolutely need.
I guess, but it's like the way I look at things, and maybe it's just obviously how I brought up. I just think like, look, you have all this cool shit in the world. You only live once. Use it. Like, I mean, I think like addiction and stuff is bad. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like it's like I just don't. I get it, but I don't get it. It's like there's just so much in this world. I think you gotta experience as many things possible. Especially, look, hey, let's use their logic. Isn't this God's technology in many ways? I mean, if, I don't just don't get it. And Michael Kurtz in the chat, I'm gonna address his comment real quickly. He says, they don't have instruments, so not sure why. Yeah, I guess they don't. I only believe in two religions: a religion where you are trying to be a good person works, or a religion of grace where God did the work for us. I'm still a sinner like anyone else. And he says, I guess about the Amish, it's a religion of works, a false Christianity.
Yeah, I think that's where you believe that like if you work really hard and shit, like you're guaranteed to heaven or something like that. Like I remember reading about this like AP fucking history and like like they get like all these Puritans, all this other stuff. They get really nutty with some of that. But I know like where I live near Ambridge, they're like Old Economy Village, I think was the name of it. And there was like a fucking cult, and it was like the Amish. But like they would basically, and it was kind of like Amish mixed with Cutco. Like they would get
Can you
them,
imagine them just coming up with their horse and buggy, like, and you hear like the clunk, 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 and then you hear like the knives rattling in the trunk, and they come up to your door, and then you're like, they're in these like farm hats and like fucking like plaid shirts, and like, would you like some Cutco knives?
Well, it wasn't Cutco, but it was like a similar thing. I think they sold a silverware or something like that, and it was
just selling Amway shit. Like,
yeah, it wasn't the only one either. It was this whole cult like making these like stupid fucking products for like dirt cheap because these people it was like Amish. They lived like a fucking Amish person. This like communal fucking cult, and they didn't even have kids. They didn't believe in sex except for the person who runs it, of course. And yeah, they ended up dying out because no one had sex except for like the guy who founded it.
Wow,
that sounds like some David Koresh shit.
yeah.
Oh, well, there's another one called I think it was Juanita or Oneida. They still cutlery today, and they were originally a sex cult in like New York, and it was like they were famed for like doing the pull-out method. That was their whole thing of how they limited people being born in there, and they would go and make Oneida cutlery, which you can still buy today if I'm not mistaken, but I don't think it's made by the cult anymore. It's made by China.
Two things I was gonna mention. Number one, on Wikipedia, there's literally a table on the Amish that says use of technology by different affiliations. So the three main affiliations are Lancaster, Holmes Old Order, and Eckhart Lagrange. And they break down like right fucking here which affiliation and then which technology. So and percentage of use by all Amish, which they're probably fucking lying on these. I don't know how you poll the Amish. That's like do you want to talk about an undertaking? Is polling the Amish? I don't know how you do that when the farms are 50 miles apart and they don't have phones, some of them.
I have an infiltrator. You have to like be a fucking Amish spy. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's like, let's see, for tractor for field work. No, except for the Kelowna. That is mostly true, because like when I see them, they're having the horses pull out shit, and here's the other thing, this is just a me thing. I get horses were used back in the day to get us, for everything. I just hate seeing those horses being used for all this shit now. It's just like,
they abuse the shit out of animals.
Yeah, it's like
they
animal
abuse
abuse.
the shit out of animals.
And you never buy a dog from the Amish. Like
no, that
really?
Yeah, funny thing you mentioned that. Yeah, yeah, because we our family loves buying. Our family loves having German shepherds, right? And so there's dog breeding farms here, but a lot of them are Amish. Like, and we were told a long time ago to never buy from the Amish farms because they treat them like shit, and then they're like psychologically they're fucked up. They end up getting fucked up.
Oh
And
god.
yeah, like we had one that went crazy. Like we had one German Shepherd that like went crazy or whatever, and then we had to put him down or whatever. Yeah, it was that was rough, but
Again,
yeah,
it's like, oh, we're all so earthy and like natural, and we're like good and
like they
for
have a
God
bad
and
day
beat
and
the
just
shit
beat
out of
the
their
shit
dog.
out of them. Like, what the fuck, man?
To be fair, back when the Amish separated, like
That's probably normal.
fucking dog rights didn't really exist back then. Like animal rights wasn't a concept.
That's true. That you gotta admit they're consistent. They're consistent with the timeline. But
Like that's the beautiful thing about the Amish. It's like a fucking you want to talk about museums? Like their whole lifestyle is like a look into like the 1600s.
yeah, but it's like again, I don't know if I brought this up on this or it was when I was talking to my girlfriend. It's like I would like that if it's like Westworld. It's like a theme park. You can go to it, experience it, cool, and then leave. And it doesn't go out into the outside world. Well, Westworld did go out into the outside world, but that's beside the point. The point is like I want it contained in like a fun space where nobody's harmed and animals aren't abused and wives aren't beaten. Would be nice, okay? But it's like, and I noticed that too because I'm seeing these poor horses like sweating their asses off, working like pulling these buggies on fucking like roads and them pulling these farm equipment. I'm like, I didn't want to at first say because I thought it would come off wrong, but I just really thought like this is like animal abuse. Like in modern times, to me, this is animal abuse. Like if you have the machines, just fucking use them. But that's me.
Horses aren't meant for that. I mean, I can,
I don't like that you're using animals for things like more than you have to. Like, look, milking a cow is one thing. It's like you're using its resource, but like making it do shit like farm work when we have machines for that. Like, you can't. I mean, someday we probably will have like artificial. They already do like milk that you just like make from shit. Chemicals. It'll taste like milk, look like milk, but it didn't come from a cow. I don't know if I drink it, but like my point is like if we can do something and we don't need the animal, do it, please.
I mean, that's some fucking.
I know some hippie shit.
That's some pussy talking right there.
I knew it would be a controversial take on this show.
Right there.
But like, no, I mean, I think they take it a little bit far, like especially with the dogs, because my mom has this neighbor who bought a fucking dog from the Amish, and like it's like chasing after cars and like biting the fucking tires, and some of it's the neighbor because she doesn't know how to raise dogs and she locks in the crate all day, but some of that, like, I'm pretty sure the Amish, it was probably fucked from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like back then, dogs weren't, I mean, they're technically pets, but they're not like pets we'd see today for the most part. They were fucking work animals.
Yeah.
And, they would bite you and stuff, and like, you beat it with a fucking newspaper. But today, we don't do that shit. And if you're a regular person, you probably don't want to buy an Amish dog.
Yeah.
That's sort of the point of that. Because those fuckers are, good Lord, think about those dogs.
Michael Curse in the chat says, using bare minimum doesn't impress God, lol. A second. I'd give that a like if I could. Do the kids stay in their religion? I feel like I would rebel. That is like that's a fucking like what, TCM or TMC? Whatever that, not Turner Classic movie. TLC. Like series, I think it was like what, Breaking Amish or something, like Breaking Bad.
Well, the Amish have their have their Rumspringer, where they go outside of their culture and live that life, I guess, and then
break for Amish people, basically.
Yeah. So so they put themselves through all that, the outside life, and then once they come back, then they come back for good. It's like, yeah, they're in it for.
See, I would be I don't know. I don't know how I would actually act in this situation, but I feel like once you get a taste of that, it's like a drug. You wouldn't want to like stop.
Well,
Yeah, imagine if you
once
sent
you
the
start-
Amish to Vegas. Like,
once you
holy shit.
once you start snorting coke and banging broads, it's pretty hard to come back. Oh, what? I'm not doing 20-hour work days, man. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, you
Well-
want to sit around with the fucking horse and like have it chew up our shit while we scrape its shit up, and we sit around without TVs in the dark with candles. Oh, and by the way, you can't fuck anything. Yeah, it sounds like a fun return to normal.
Well, to be fair, like they probably get scared because, like, you know, if
It
you're
is a
not
shock,
used
I
to
bet.
that life, you go and see like hookers and blow and like coke and pot and like all this other shit.
Yeah.
You know, you're probably gonna be scared. Like, you know, the fastest you've gone was like, you know, 10, 15 miles an hour on a fucking horse and buggy, and then you go and see like, you know, in the back of a fucking like, you know, even like a shitty Honda Civic, it can go 100 miles an hour. Like that's gonna scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. It would
my-
shock them.
What?
I said it would definitely be a shocker for them.
Oh yeah, and I think some of them do leave. Like I knew a guy at Penn State who got a scholarship because he was an ex-Amish. Like it does happen. But
Oh yeah, and they have like the younger generation is it's kind of like with Islam. You know, there's definitely I think a shift happening, but I don't think it's that much.
I think
And
most of them still stay with it, but you know some of them don't. That's the thing. Like I don't think it's really changed much. Like I think it was like 75% or something stay with them, 25% leave. Like look at shit up on fucking Wikipedia. I'm sure there's a statistic on that.
yeah, I'm gonna look at that 'cause I'm looking still at the technology stuff, and it's like they have it like going from like an ascending order. It's like least used to most used. Least used is like the tractor, power lawnmower. Oh, that one's kind of a controversy. Some, yes, and lots of no's. Propane gas, mostly no's, some yeses, a couple sums. Buttermilk tank, mostly no. Mechanical milker, mostly no. Refrigerator, fuck, that's mostly no's too. Pickup bailers, I guess. Inside flushed. Whoa, okay. They all use a toilet though. Look at that. Wow, most of them are yes on the inside flush toilet. Running water bathtub, most yes. Tractor for belt power, mostly yes. Pneumonic tools, mostly yes. Chainsaw. Oh, they like their chainsaws. Pressurized lamps, a lot of yeses. And the one with the overwhelming yeses, motorized washing machines. So they have women. Great. Oh, that's terrible.
Industry though, like depending on the area, because you know you can't make as much money now, like with farming in some places. You know the land prices, so they have to go and do other shit, like you know furniture, like upholstery, and like stuff like that. To stay competitive, you do need to use some power, you know, some sort of tools.
Oh, they have percentages too. 97% use the washing machine.
My old lady said we needed to get a new washing machine, and I said I need to get a washing machine. You need to get the fuck out.
I thought you were gonna say I need to get a washing machine. I guess I gotta get a divorce then. Oh,
Do they do that? I don't know.
that's a good question. Is divorce a thing?
No,
No.
I think that they are.
They're locked in.
I don't know.
Yeah, usually the strict religious ones, they're locked in. Like it would take like severe circumstances to separate themselves from.
I caught you using a tractor.
Oh god, I wonder what happens like if they catch the kids like fucking like using a tractor. Do they like beat them?
Oh my god, what would happen if there was like a fucking like a divorce and then like the one person leaves Amish? Like how the fuck would that work? Like, you know, get child custody, would they just like give it over to the fucking not Amish one? Or my god, that would be.
That's a fucked up mess.
I'm sure it's happened before.
Yeah. Oh, look at the percentage of population. Their change. I guess it's a change. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a change. So like back, like their population, it's still fucking growing. Oh man, I guess they're fucking a lot more than they've let on. In 1984, there were 84,000 Amish. 1992, about 130,000. 2000, 166,000. 2010, 250,000. 2019, 341,000. And 2020, 350,000. But the change dramatically dropped from 2019 to 2020. And it's hard to compare because all these other ones don't go year by year. But from to 1992 to 2000, it was about a 30% jump. Then 2000 to 2010 was a 50%. Then 2010 to 2019, a 37%. These are all in the plus, too. And then 2019 and 2020 was a 2.6%.
Well, that's just for 1 year, though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's not really, fair comparison there. But
And I wonder how they're dealing with COVID right now. Like, do they use
they do not wear masks at all.
They don't give a shit. I mean,
Yeah.
They probably don't believe in germs, so I don't see
By the way, speaking of COVID, okay, look. Speaking of COVID, I'm done. Like, I'm done talking about COVID now because if Chris Christie can get over this fucking COVID thing, we should be opening up fucking everything, right? If that fat fuck can come back healthy as an ox, like, fuck it.
If you have money, like, look at Magic Johnson. The dude fucking survived like AIDS.
I mean, look at Chris Christie though. If there was a person that this supposedly deadly pandemic was supposed to take, that motherfucker would be the poster child of, like, come take this dude. Like, this dude, like, he's old, he's extremely fucking obese. Like, I think he's got, like, all kinds of health issues beyond that.
He can
like,
he probably has enough money where he can pump himself full of, like, virgin blood, you know?
To be fair, though, he has been saying that he was wrong to not wear a mask, and he was in an ICU for 7 days, but he did survive. He did.
Yeah, he was like, see, he's the type of person that should always fucking, like, super be careful because he's got like 20 comorbidities.
I actually have a COVID story I'm gonna tell right now. I was in the same opinion of you, Phil, till this happened, and I'm not over it completely yet, but I'll explain in a second because there are some comments rolling in from Mr. Curtis again. He says it could be worse. You could have Mormons knock on your doors. I know what you mean by that.
Your doors, at least, they don't want to recruit people.
Dude, the Amish don't want to do anything except farm work. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, well,
like, I don't know. Like, I kind of I admire that lifestyle. You know, where you just can disconnect. You don't, like, honestly, like, the fucking work day, as shitty as it is over here, you just do farm work. It's physically active. You don't need to go to the gym. You just do your fucking work on the farm. You go live. You go home to your wife. Bang her. Deal with the kids. Like, it's a simple life.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it. Simple lies bother me. I just can't do it. That's just the type of person I am.
Curtis had COVID.
Yeah, COVID. Oh my god. But I did lose my sense of smell for good. What?
Dude, my fucking my 97 or 98-year-old great grandfather had COVID and survived with, like, the only thing that happened was he was dehydrated. I mean, now he's in a nursing home, but he also has, like,
he lost his sense of smell because he had his nose up Trump's ass. Maybe get that fucking shit out. Maybe you could,
honestly, I wouldn't mind losing my sense of smell because then I wouldn't have to smell shit again. I wouldn't have to smell a lot of things again.
Why don't you just start smoking, man?
I don't want to smoke.
Lose your sense of smell. It prevents COVID or whatever.
Sure. Well, okay, smoking's great. Yeah, I feel bad that they did lose a sense of smell for good. That's pretty bad.
Lose it for good? Oh, that's not good.
I mean, yeah, that's what he said. Michael, I don't know if you want to tell us, and if you don't, it's okay. But, like, did you have any pre-existing conditions? Were you diabetic? Are you elderly? Like, or were you just the bad side effect of it? I would tell a story real quick that freaked me out a little bit. Like, when I was door knocking with one volunteer, I've knocked on thousands of doors, haven't gotten anything, have been fine. But my volunteer goes to one door, and he forgot to put his mask on or something. Talks to these people, maintained a 6-foot distance, came back down to me, and he didn't have his mask on when talking to me. I had mine not on, and because I was just talking to him in the street, but I was a little bit away from him. He told me, he's like, yeah, I was at this one house, and they said that they need a mail-in ballot application because their mother has COVID. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm starting to think, wait, their mother has COVID. Is she living with them? And he's like, yeah, she is. And I'm like, wait, fuck, you talk to these people and their mother has COVID and she lives in that home. So I took a few steps back, literally. And so I thought, okay, I'll go talk to them. Because the way he was describing this was really confusing. He's like, yeah, I think it was the mother, but I don't know, like, if she lives there. I think she does. And I could tell, like, they were being kind of confusing with him. So I go to the door, and I don't even touch it. I knock on it with the lid. I press, like, the ringer with the literature. And I have my mask on and sunglasses to protect my eyes. I am 12 feet back. This motherfucker answers the door. This guy, older guy, no mask, starts charging towards me. Like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, dude, back the fuck up. And he's like coming at me. There's no warnings that the household has code or anything. And I go, hey, I heard you guys need a mail-in application. Like, my friend here was knocking your door and told me you need one. I was just bringing one. He's like, yeah. We need them. And he was confused about that. He was like, well, no, we don't need anything. And then his wife comes to the door and she's like, yeah, we need one. I just talked to him. I was like, okay, cool. I wanted to clarify the COVID things. I go, so I heard that your mother has COVID, or do you guys have COVID? Like, what's the deal with that? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, wait, both of you guys have COVID? And they're like, yeah.
You're through the door without a fucking mask.
And both of them didn't have masks. They're like fucking like trying to get at me, like in close meetings. I kept backing up, maintaining like 12 feet, and I literally just was like, I'm gonna leave this here. And I put the mail-in on their car like hood, and I'm like, thank you guys. If you need any help, let me know. Have a nice day. Like, got the fuck out of there. I was so pissed at that. Okay, look. Going to the store not wearing a mask, yeah, it's your own will, whatever, fuck, whatever. Talking to friends about masks, fuck, whatever. But knowingly having COVID, currently, there's no warning signs at your door, and just opening the door and talking to me like it's nothing. What the fuck are you doing? I don't want that shit.
Supporter.
What was that?
He's a Biden supporter.
No, he's a Republican.
Huh.
Pissed me off so much because look, will I be fine if I get I'm not gonna die. The thing is, I don't want to deal with getting sick, and I don't want to be down on this job, missing in action for the last 2 weeks, the most important weeks ever of this job. And this fucker, because he can't have any self-awareness and be decent, just like comes charging out there like, yeah, I have COVID, yeah. Not a big deal. No, not nonchalant. Like, I just drove
like
nuts.
Decontaminate after that?
What was that?
Do you decontaminate after that?
The best I could. I mean, I didn't. The only thing that worried me was talking to my volunteer, because I was fine with the distance and the mask and the glasses and everything with talking to the actual dude. But my volunteer didn't have a mask. Talked to the guy, maintained a distance, but talked to them. And then came back to me and did not maintain a distance, did not have a mask for a brief bit. I mean, it was very brief because he just came down to tell me that. I'm like, dude, like, you're telling me this and you're up close to me? Like, what gives? But it was very brief interaction, like less than a minute. And I was like, okay. So I think I'm fine. I hope I'm fine. I've been a little tired and I am a little achy and I am getting something. I think it's just allergies.
Uh-oh.
But it is worrying me.
Get your eyes tested, buddy.
Dude got the Rona.
I am going to probably get a test, but I'm waiting because the test does not pick it up until it's like 4 or 5 days set in. So I'm waiting to schedule one. You can only schedule one like the day of or the day after. So Sunday, I'm going to try and schedule one for Tuesday, which would be, I think, 4 days since then. If not, I'm going to do Wednesday. But that's what I'm planning to do, to be safe. And that doesn't mean anything because the test could be a false negative.
Yeah, that's a scary thing with those tests. You know, they have such like, what was it, like a 30% false negative, 20% false positive or something. Like you
Yeah.
flip a coin, you know, and either it's true or false.
But
That's
yeah, and that's what worries me too. So I told my boss about the thing, and we'll see what happens. But I think I'm fine. I do think I'm fine, but gee, that was a close call, and I'm really pissed at those people because that's just stupid. And I think the other possibility is that they could just be, I don't know what's going on. They might not have understood what I was saying or asking, even though I made it quite clear and asked it twice. I don't know, dude. Because they seem so nonchalant about like there was nothing. It's almost like asking someone like, oh, do you have a cold? And they're like, oh, yeah, I have the cold. It was like that.
Well, some people, you know, some people really do think it's like the cold. I mean, I don't know. My great grandfather had, and like nothing really happened to him, but you know, that's not everyone. Like this, you know, like Mike over there, he's lost the sense of smell permanently, which is like really dangerous. You know, that'd be really shitty. Like I feel bad for you, man. Like, dude, if
Yeah.
you gas or like rotten milk.
Michael
Man,
says, though, that he got it from a friend coming over but didn't get close to him. I think it's because he touched things, though. Or his saliva got on things or something like that, and that's how it got transferred. That'd be my guess, Michael. I could be wrong. I'm not in your shoes, but it's my guess. I hope I don't have it, but dude, that freaked me out. Because I'm like, what do you... It's just so reckless to do it like that. Like knowingly having it. And I don't know if they think I was asking, did you have past tense? Rona, bro, you got it. Don't worry. Usually I get the flu really bad, but COVID was nothing. Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, see the test. I mean, you know, I'd wait till you get, you know, the test results back. I mean, you could have got it. You might not have. You know, shit happens.
I just worry about my family. That's the thing I worry about because my parents are old. My dad has heart problems and technically like those sort of complicating conditions. He's more at the at-risk category. That's what worries me.
I mean, you could go and live in a tree house, live in the doghouse for a few weeks.
Live with the Amish.
Oh God, yeah. I'm wondering, like, I guess they don't really interact with other people, so they'd probably be pretty safe.
I love this headline on
But I mean, they
CNN.
do.
What?
I guess that they do have like Amish markets, so I was about to say like they'd probably, you know, I think they either wouldn't get it or they get it and they'd be really fucked because they're not going to be wearing masks or like really social distancing, to my knowledge.
Yeah. They don't. The Amish are like, they don't care about COVID at all. Trust me.
They probably don't. Do they? Are they anti-vax?
Probably. I would almost guarantee that they're anti-vax. I love this article on CNN. It says crowds gather for Women's March to protest Trump and Supreme Court nominee. Crowds gather. Crowds.
A female nominee. Like how much like mental backflips you had to do that to come to a Women's March, but you're protesting a female nominee. Oh, it's just because she's Catholic, but you know it's okay. We're having a Catholic fucking, you know, presidential candidate. If you're Democrat, oh, that's fine. But if it's a female Catholic, that's wrong.
That's true, but like what I'm pointing out is the fact that whenever there's crowds at a Trump rally or there's crowds for anti-lockdown protests, CNN always, you know, puts a little footnote there. It says, and nobody was wearing masks and crowds recklessly gather amid COVID-19. But when this happens, there's no picture. There's just this small bit of text like, oh, crowds gather for Women's March. Oh, such a normal, good thing. And then there's a thing that says Slayer Pete. Buttigieg recent Fox News interview leads to a new nickname, Slayer Pete.
What's he doing? Is he like slaying, like hashtag slay girl?
Oh, God.
I biased because he's, you know, man.
Well,
Like,
no, I mean, because he goes on Fox News, and they fucking softball him.
Who interviewed him?
Yeah, like they interview him and they throw like a
Who
bunch of
interviewed him, though?
softball questions. Huh?
Who interviewed
Like
him?
just like he's been on a couple of times,
Oh,
I think. Which, like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, I give him
and they're
props
like,
for going on
"Dude."
Fox, though.
Yeah.
well, I mean, to be fair, Fox isn't even like super fucking right wing.
Yeah,
Like,
they're-
what was it? Yeah, especially after that one debate. It really depends, you know, who's fucking interviewing you. Oh, speaking of that, did you hear what happened with what was that? The stuff came out about the debate that never happened. The guy who was supposed.
Never happened.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was fucking dude. That made my day. Seeing that guy suspended from C-SPAN because he was a fucking, you know, total liar. Oh, he played the I was hacked, bruh. Yeah, it was like such a meme, you know. Like he embodied that meme. It's like no, did anybody believe that for like literally when I heard him say that, I did not believe him at all.
Oh no, man! That child porn on the computer. Oh man, I was hacked. I mean, you know, that's a scary thing too. Like someone could do that, but you know,
Yeah,
times.
I don't know how that box of tissues got there on the desk either, man. Totally not cool.
I'd
Right?
virus.
Somebody else put them there. Somebody broke into my house and put that lotion and the box of fucking tissues on that desk. Yeah.
Ghost in his ectoplasm. Fucking up the South Park. There. I don't know.
George Takai, sure, sex is great, but have you seen Pete Buttigieg shut down the Fox News panels?
Ooh.
God.
Fucking George to gay, you know.
He's not even really. Is he even really gay?
Wasn't he like touched?
Cock or something like he did like it, I remember this around the grab by the pussy.
Yeah,
thing.
it's like when he was campaigning with his partner, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like the interactions looked so weird. It almost looked like they weren't even like real. Like they weren't even like a real couple or anything. I'm like, I was thinking, man, he's probably faking being gay for PR points or something.
I bet somebody. I wish somebody like when he was in the military would like tell us like leak stories of that shit, like what really happened.
Yeah, he was banging Thai hookers and shit, man. Let's go.
There's a lot of the guys with the penis out there too.
Do you remember when he had that like clip where he has that like Krusty the Clown like laugh? Where he's like, ho ho ho. Do you remember that?
You know, I bet when he was in the military, he was probably put in some like soft ass position.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's probably stationed in the middle, like in fucking Coast Guard or some shit like that.
Oh, I love this Trump tweet about this. He goes, trying to load on Twitter. Come on, Twitter, load. Hard to believe that Fox News is wasting airtime on Mayor Pete, as Chris Wallace likes to call him. I love how he slides that in. Fox is moving more and more to the losing, wrong side in covering the Dems. They got dumped from the Democrats' boring debates, and they just won in. They forgot the people who got them there. Chris Wallace said, quote, I actually think, whether you like his opinions or not, that Mayor Pete has a lot of substance. Fascinating biography. Gee. He never speaks well of me. I like Mike Wallace better, and Alfred E. Newman will never be president. Yes.
What the fuck is Alfred E. Newman? Is that the dude who does that like fucking like healthy shit?
No, it's the Mad. That's the one thing. As much as that's a great analogy Trump draws, it's a bit of a dated reference. That's the Mad magazine character, which looks like fucking Pete Buttigieg.
I can see he looks like everyone. He's just supposed to be like some dumbass.
He does not look like everyone.
Like they compare him to like all these politicians, like oh he looks like Alfred E. Newman. Like they look like George Bush looks like Alfred
Yeah,
E.
but he
Newman.
looks like him to a T. Like, look at this guy. Look at this guy, dude.
I
Like,
hate
booty
judge. Said touch your booty.
He just has such a kid look to him, you know? Like, he literally looks like he should be on the college debate team.
College Republicans debate team.
Oh, speaking of all these, like, small groups and stuff. One thing I need to show you guys, I can't really pull it up on the screen, but I'll post this in the chat. When I was door knocking in this, do you know where Christiana is, Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you been there before?
In passing.
Dude, yeah. That's a good way to put it, because it is it's like the ghetto of Lancaster, dude. This is a rough, janky, deserted town. There was like nobody there. Nobody. It was so weird and eerie. But I did see this there, and I had to laugh. It's a fucking Freemason lodge.
There you go.
It's just like the randomest shit. I just see that freaking compass. I'm like, oh god, it's the Masons. You see that shit, Alex?
Oh, I was taking a piss. What's going on?
Oh, missed my reveal. Did you hear the part where I talked about Christiana?
Christianity.
Okay, you didn't.
Christian?
I was telling Phil that like when I was door knocking today, I was knocking in Christiana, and it was like it's like the ghetto of Lancaster. It's like pretty rough and janky, run down, and it was like a ghost town to it. Nobody was out. Nobody was answering their doors. Nobody was home. It's really weird. But I did see this. I posted in Chad's chat.
Oh shit. I'm doing that blast mining in that fucking RuneScape. Let's check it out. Chad's chat. Oh god, those fuckers. Fucking Masons, man.
Yeah, if they have a Mason lodge there, I'm like,
Mason lodges everywhere. Like, it's one of those things, red pills you when you see how many of those places there are. Like, I always kind of wonder, like, we need to go next time and infiltrate that shit, but, if you get caught, you'd probably be, like, executed. But, I don't know, I think the little local ones like that, there's, like, nothing going on, but, like, I hear, like, the European lodges, that's where all the, like, the Grand Lodges, that's where all the shit goes down.
what type of shit?
I don't know, man. That's like Bilderberg Group sort of level of stuff. Like, honestly, I think it's like this big sort of,
Cabal.
like, yeah, it's like that gay thing they do in the woods with all the presidents.
Way you described it, that gay thing they do in the woods with all those presidents. You mean Bohemian Grove?
I think that's how Nixon described it. Like, it was the most gay, or
Yeah, and Richard Nixon said it's the most faggoty thing ever.
I mean, it probably is. Like, they probably like a frat. They do the elephant walks and stuff. I bet it's probably like the number one thing they do. Probably similar. I don't know, Freemasonry, man. Like that. I wish we could find like a fucking Mason who'd like. We go like if we have anyone that's fucking Mason, we'll do whatever the hell we can to anonymize you. Like, I want to hear the inside scoop from the Masons, because I've seen like 4chan threads and stuff, and it's probably bullshit, but like, I've heard some weird things that they do. Like,
well, look at that picture I posted. Like, it looks like they have like a fucking magazine, but like, dude, that guy looks so creepy. Look at that. He's got this like weird shit hanging on, like some bling, some Mason bling, and he's got this like iconography. It's like, and he's got this skirt, fucking like.
He's in the Scottish, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be some like kilty sort of thing, but it looks like a skirt.
They do that. They have different, right? Like, that's like after like level 33 Mason.
Level 33. What is this?
That's the 33rd degree that you choose. Like, I think different rights they have. It's like a subclass.
Is this like COD when you get like a level up? I'm level 33. I unlocked the 16 gauge shotgun.
No, it's the it's not like that. It's like Dungeons and Dragons. Like, once you get level like 33 and a half or whatever,
you get a new ability.
You get a subclass, and there's like Scottish, right? And who's that? What's that? The Shriners. That's another one. They have a bunch of subclasses you can pick.
Yeah.
But they do different things, and I don't like see like they have the hospital over here. Like, I see it all the time with the little fezzes. That's their regalia. I guess a Scottish, right? They wear kilts with Masonic symbols on it. Like, it's just such a weird thing, and like I really do want to know what goes on with the Mason.
Me too. I want to know what goes on everywhere. I'm that type of person that like I'm in every group meet. I'm in every chat. I just like having eyes and ears everywhere. I always want to know what's going on. I want to know what's going on in that shit so badly. I mean, if Alex Jones could find a way to get someone in one of his InfoWars to infiltrate that shit and do a documentary on it, it'd be great.
Pretty sure he is a Mason or has connections with Masons.
He has connections, but he's not a Mason, if you know what I mean. Dude, he's Alex Jones.
You're a Mason.
What?
You wouldn't tell people, you know, it's a secret society.
Well, he's being open about it, because if somebody found that out and he didn't tell people, they'd be like, well, why are you hiding this?
I mean, that's just like crazy how many people are fucking Masons. So like, I think, what was it, Hank Williams? Like, he was a fucking Mason or from a line of Masons. Like, he was originally named Hiram Mason, which if you know, that's like their whole thing. They have this like founding mythology with like Hiram and Abiff, and it was like some dude in Egypt got like killed or something. I don't know. It was some stupid shit. I read on like the History Channel. They had a documentary about the fucking Masons, but it's probably a bunch of shit anyways. But I think the Hiram thing's real. But who is that? Like, I know that someone in the CRs, like the president there, was a Mason.
Of course.
I remember I saw it as like dad's house. Like I was at his dad's house once. I was like, "Oh, is it you Mason?" He's like, "Oh yeah, are you Mason?" I was like, "No."
And that's when they showed you the door to leave. Oh god.
They were fine. Like, I mean, you know, a lot of people don't know what the fuck Masons are because it's a secret society. But I don't know, man. I want to find out the truth.
The red pill on the Masons.
I mean, I bet the smaller level ones, they probably don't. It's probably just like a fraternity where they go and like network. But I think the higher level ones is when like you get like world leaders involved, and that's when you start to see the really funky monkey stuff.
Dude, this shit they wear though, like these things in front of their crotches, they look like aprons. Like, look at this.
Probably some stupid symbology or something like, oh, you know, it represents. I don't know, man.
Look at this shit. It just looks so goofy. Like the
They're probably the BBC's probably run by Masons, so they tell them like the fake. Like, I think it's like, I think a lot of religions, you know, they probably have that, like, they have a front, and then there's, like, the people who are deep inside, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of these things, it's like, you know, the Masons, I think, are one. You know, I'm pretty sure, like, there's some stuff out there with Saudi royal family. I think
remember when we had that triumvirate in the Trump Club? It's like that, you know? There's always, like, there's the group, but then there's the real group, you know? There's the people that really do stuff. I forget who else I was talking to about that, where they said that there was something like that and something, but it's that sort of shit. But like,
probably government, like there's probably, I mean, they probably have some shady shit like that going on.
Oh
probably,
yeah, there's always a clique.
I bet the college Republicans are Masons. Well, I mean, I know they are, but I mean, like, I bet there's Masonic involvement with that organization.
If you found shit like that, would be so funny. I'd laugh
Dude,
my ass
off. What do you think the secret societies are? You got like Skull and Bones, Masons, you know. They're all these other secret societies, man. Like there's tons, and you have no idea about them. It's like the deep web, man. It's going on in the background.
Yeah. The Skull and Bones is always interesting too, because I always wonder what they really do.
Probably like the Masons, they just have a bunch of leaders in there, and they go and talk about stuff. You know, stuff that you think it just spontaneously pops up. They probably plan out. Like, I mean, shit, we kind of did that to the CRs, you know, to a certain extent.
What do you mean?
Some of the stuff that we've pulled off over the years.
Oh, I see.
Fucking Masons are so, like, see, I'm telling you, man, we need to make our own fucking society.
Right wing dark web, right wing secret society.
Yes. I mean, it won't be too secret because we just announce it over here, but fuck it. Semi-secret society. Because, I mean, the Masons, I mean, they're not that secret. I mean, you know, they're everywhere. And people are going to be like, oh, hey, what is this?
A secret society, yeah, well, everybody's going to know. I mean, you can't keep, like, a society 100% secret, and there also wouldn't be a point to it. But the point of it is that, like, you don't know what goes on there. You know there's, like, a secret society, but you don't know what it does. Like, you know it's a thing, but you don't know what that thing does.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, those Masons, man, I bet there's some shady shit.
Well, yeah, I'm like, and like these Skull and Bones things, like, what the fuck is this shit? These are like It's like clan shit. Like, I'm not making this up, dude. Look at this shit. This is like spooky.
Well, yeah, it's Skull and Bones. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it is kind of like clan stuff.
That's some clan shit right there, dude.
Oh my god.
Skull.
Yeah, that's fine too. Because what was that? The 2004 election? Like both people were members of Skull and Bones at like Harvard.
Yep. I bet
Like,
that made some infighting in Skull and Bones.
Like probably like see that's probably who decided it. It was like the Skull and Bones had a meeting. It's like, okay, which one of you motherfuckers will be president?
They did the Florida recount.
Yes, I mean, they did. They just had all that shit like in the scenes.
Yeah.
You know that makes me sad. Like fucking David Hogg might be a member of that now too. Like, ugh.
You know, isn't the Skull and Bones though the epitome of white patriarchy?
Yeah.
Why isn't the left like aggressively anti Skull and Bones?
Because
they are Skull and Bones.
I don't bite the hand that feeds them.
Yeah. Inside Skull and Bones from Yale Alumni Magazine. Ooh. I love how we're talking about this and we're not talking about the fact that there were the Amy Coney Barrett hearings, which were a big deal. And I know what I else. Oh, there was that town hall too. Dude, did you guys see Trump's town hall? It was lit.
Yeah.
Instead of the debate, he was firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, he handled that incredibly. I mean,
Savannah Guthrie's a bitch.
Yeah, she went after him really, really hard, and and there were a few questions from the crowd that were kind of, pretty rough too, but he handled all of it pretty much flawlessly. I mean, he handled it incredibly well. And I was just and okay, by the way, there were people like on Twitter out there that were saying that Joe Biden's the viewership for the Joe Biden town hall outnumbered the Trump town hall, but here's my opinion on that one. I think the reason for that was they were hoping that George Stephanopoulos was going to dig a little bit into the fucking Hunter Biden shit, right? Because the Hunter Biden shit just came out. It was hot off the fucking press, right? Because every time he goes out, there's always reporters asking about, well, what's the deal with the Hunter thing? What about the Ukraine thing? What about all that? And you can tell Joe Biden's starting to get very irritable when people are asking him. But I think because it was hot, it was just fresh off the fuck out of the oven, and I think that may have had more to do with why his the viewership was as high as it was versus for more than anything, because I don't think anybody really gave a shit about Joe Biden. But I think with a juicy story like that, of course it's gonna fucking garner attention.
Well, here's the other thing too: is Joe Biden never talks. Outside the debate, so this is a rare event. People are like, oh, what's he gonna fucking say? Out of curiosity, because the motherfucker was hidden in a bunker for the past 6 months, and he popped up his head as soon as the election comes around. He's like the fucking groundhog in Puxatawny, Puxatawny Phil.
Yeah, they pull him out, see what he's got to say. Everybody's watching, and then they chuck him back in. I mean, and that too. I wonder what else the viewership would compare to with the Amy Coney Barrett hearings, which, by the way, made me like her a hell of a lot more. I really didn't know a lot about her. Didn't even think she was that big of a deal. But when I saw her rattling off all these cases, rattling off all these details, citing sections of the law, she'd go a section 2 of the Equal Pay Act, and it was nothing, and then seeing that she didn't have any notes in front of her, and she could cite all this, was amazing. With that moment where she holds up the notepad, it's gotta be the iconic, the blank notepad, and she goes, when they ask her what's on that notepad, she goes, the letterhead that says U.S. Senate. Iconic.
Yeah, you couldn't see Joe Biden do that.
It's amazing. She's great. I like her now. I really do. She's awesome. But the other, what was that?
They're gonna find a way to turn that around. Like, is she autistic? Like, I can see her doing like the fucking fake news media. They're gonna try to find a way to go and like spin this negatively.
Yeah. Well, even they were admitting, like, it was so weird. They were showing clips from like CNN, MSNBC, where they were like, "Wow, that was that was an impressive moment." Yeah. Okay, back to hating Trump. You know.
Yeah, it's like fucking Mike Jock moment. Just pull up the blank notepad. Boom.
Yeah. One other thing too, I want to mention. This is more of a local thing for us, but did I tell you guys about the mask police that tried to rat out the Turning Point at Penn State chapter?
Oh, about the guy, wasn't he like harassing your girlfriend or whatever?
Well, that was a different one. I told you about that, like, somebody. Okay, I'll just tell the story again. So, Turning Point was tabling at Penn State, and they were outside, and somebody took a picture. I will find the picture because it's honestly amazing. Oh, fuck. Not Instapot recipes.
That sounds like a fucking drug thing.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Okay, I found the fucking image. I'm gonna link it to you guys. So, they were tabling, and this guy takes a picture, and he tries to have, like, a gotcha moment. Okay? He thinks he's, like, gotten them. And as you can see in the image, it's like, because I first was told about this by Trevor. He's like, "Yo, we got in trouble because we weren't wearing masks." I'm like, "Why weren't you guys wearing masks? Like, you're giving them ammo."
He's got a fucking drink right there. He's like a monster.
I know. This is why this is so funny and great for them and bad for this guy. Is number one, first of all, you can clearly fucking see the one guy has a mask hanging down and the drink in front of him. So he's drinking. And my girlfriend's there, and you could tell she has a coffee cup there. And you can't even see Trevor's face. And the guy over there, or the other person, is even a Turning Point member who didn't have a mask on. It was the most stupidest thing ever that they got him with. It was just stupid, epic, fail. Epic fail.
Did they bring up the university or something? Did they try to like shut down the club after that?
That's what I thought they're gonna try and do, and that's what I still think they're gonna try and do. But this person complained to the university, and then the university called them up and like gave them a little like yelled at them initially, like when they saw when they came outside, and then I think they'd do like a little educational meeting where they just gave them a warning, they don't do this shit again. And that's what I thought would happen, but it's like,
are you not allowed to drink when you're doing that? You're not allowed to drink
well,
water?
that's what they explained, was that we were drinking, and that's the people that weren't wearing masks over there were non-Turning Point members. I'm like, yeah, you guys are fine, did nothing wrong, but just be careful, don't give them ammo. You know, if like you actually didn't have drinks. So it was just, ridiculous. I mean, if you want to be real smart about this, what you could do is just always have food and drinks with you when you're tabling, so they can't like get you.
Yeah, like what do they expect you to do? Just like fucking pour it down your mask, like look like a fucking idiot?
Well, did you see my comment on here?
I don't know if I did.
Yeah, pull up the link. Like, I literally just, because I was trying to think of something trolly to say, and so the only thing I could think of that'd be good was I said is, didn't know you need to have masks on to drink coffee.
I didn't know you could have a mask on and drink coffee. Like that'll defeat the purpose of the mask, I think.
Read the comments, though.
Turning Point is just junior Nazis. Okay, buddy. Man, let me know up here. Okay. You need to pick a struggle. Can't go around potentially spreading a killer virus and promoting violence. Totally random follow up, but on the Instagram they posted a photo with the dude in this picture wearing a mask. Who the fuck are they kidding? Disappointed but not surprised. So read their IG, they hide behind that they want to encourage discussion and get both sides to talk, but any of their info is pointed out as false. At least their shit can't have an open discussion. No, you need masks to drink coffee.
Read the comments on the replies.
To argue with someone who claims to be a nonpartisan organization and only tweets vitriol about Black Lives Matter defense. Alexa Gavin, okay, thanks for trying though. So defends everyone's constitutional right to freedom of speech. Gavin and Forwards did nothing wrong at CPAC. Love to see your organization stand up for the Black Lives Matter protesters who are attacked by law enforcement simply for demonstrating, but I understand I'm against crying about being kicked out of CPAC is more important. Triggered righty snowflake sounds. Oh, goddamn, bro, can't you just live and let people think what they think? Why you gotta be so triggered? This guy thinks he's hot.
Cringe.
Like that's not an argument about like wearing fucking masks and drinking coffee. Like
they started attacking on Censors America.
Yeah, they're not talking about the actual issue at hand. They just bring up other shit because they know they're wrong. Like, see, that's how you know you won an argument. It's when they pull up like, oh, you misspelled this word in this fucking comment. You're a fucking idiot. I'm not arguing with an idiot. Or like they'll just start bringing stuff up like about your past post history or whatever. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You lost the argument. That's why you're bringing up random stuff. That's why I got posts.
I love how they're like, well, I'd love to see your organization stand up for the Black Lives Matter protesters who were attacked by law enforcement simply for demonstrating. No. They were fucking rioting and breaking the law.
Yeah, they're not uncensored. Every major social media company is giving them a platform to speak. When they get like kicked off of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you know, talk to you.
I know. And there was this other comment. I don't know if you saw it. This one was I think this is the funniest comment. This takes the cake. He goes, "Oh wow, they're endangering students and promoting an environment that endangers people of color and queer folk."
Okay, well, if you don't, well, see, if you're
not
gay,
wearing a mask promotes an environment that endangers people of color and queer folk.
How? If anything, they'd be, you know, these are lefties. They'd be away from these people and they wouldn't be talking.
Yeah, but look who's in the picture. A brown female.
Just gonna point that out to him.
Endangering people of color.
Be like, hey, well, maybe that's who they're referring to. They're saying you're endangering her. She's being.
It's so funny.
How is this somehow unique? Like, how is this uniquely affecting gay people or people of different, you know, races? Like outside of just anybody, which I mean, it's not even really endangering you when you're fucking drinking a coffee. Like, dude, shut the fuck up and think about the context. You know, like you drinking coffee. Are you not allowed to drink coffee anymore? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you need to wear a mask while you drink coffee.
I don't know. Like when they had that meeting with Penn State, did they say you're not allowed to drink coffee anymore?
Oh, wow! I just noticed something in the likes on this post. One of the people that liked this post is a Daily Collusion reporter.
Oh, that's interesting.
I've worked with her before.
I'd say go ahead, make this a full-on story. Let's see how well that goes, and then send it to fucking Sargon or something. But he'd fucking field day with that.
Oh god, it's so funny. Let me see if I recognize any of the other people in here. Oh, Clipstein. He would like it. He's the president of the CDs. He was a guy that, man, there's a lot. I first met that dude at a free speech debate, and he got so triggered. He's like, we can't have free speech that like Holocaust denial that hurts the Jews like me. I'm like, dude, grow up. There are like 5 Holocaust deniers, and if you can't handle them, well, gee, people went to gas chambers, okay? That's pretty bad, okay? And you think denying something like mean words and wacky people is what's really holding you down? My God. And he also was the one that's in student government that, remember when they condemned our event? And
yeah, that's student government at work. That's your student fucking, because I think they even get paid by student government. I think they get a stipend. Like a yearly stipend, if I'm not mistaken.
They get paid.
I think they do, because I remember when I was at like
What?
Penn State student government, they were talking like, "Oh yeah, main campus gets like a stipend. It's like $250 a year or something. It wasn't like huge, but they still got like a fucking stipend, if I'm not mistaken. It's probably increased by now, because you know they'd vote for that. That's where your student fee money
That's
going.
like Congress voting for pay raises. Oh my God! Wow.
look into that. Look into that. I'm sure you. I heard about this before. I'm sure. Like maybe they don't do it anymore, but I know for a while they did do that.
It says salaries and stipends. I'm trying to find them. Page 50 funds eco-rep stipends for $500 per semester.
$500 fucking dollars. So that's more than I thought they were getting. Holy shit!
I have to look into it. This is something on the Penn State Sierra Club's website.
Why are these people getting fucking money?
We need to get in on that.
Yeah, I remember I was told about that. We were like, oh, hey, can we get stipends at Penn State York? We were going, why the fuck not? And then they're like, yeah, no. But, we could have voted for it. But I think someone would have shot us down over there. But over there, they think they're hot shit. They want to be con or just get money for doing nothing.
Dude, I think a lot of they might actually be real government people when they like congressmen because they fit the fucking bill. They're so useless. They're so elitist. They're so just fucking awful.
They do nothing but approve motions to condemn or applaud stuff, and they really do nothing. Then they get paid $500 a year or a semester.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe a semester, or maybe a year. I mean, even then, a fucking $1 is too much for these people because what benefit do they really even do? What do they do? They say, oh, we need to increase the student fee money by this amount to go and fund this bullshit. And of course, the university, oh yeah, sure, we'll increase the student fee amount to go and pay for, an outdoor gymnasium of Penn State is middle of Pennsylvania, which gets pretty cold for a good portion of the school year, since most people don't go summer semester.
I don't know if they have stipends. I'm trying to find it. I saw a thing about eco reps, but I don't think they're part of UPUA. I think it's a separate thing.
It's really making me interested in what this is. I don't think if at least the UPUA they're fairly well known, eco reps, good lord, what they do, bitch at you for throwing trash in the trash can. Oh no, man.
They bitch at you for they police you for throwing plastic water bottles in the trash can instead of the recycle.
That's the thing I hate about Penn State. They have 7 different recycling bins.
Yeah, I God,
nowhere else but fucking Penn State does shit like that. I was like, dude, okay, it's hard enough to get very regular people to recycle. But if I have to go and is it a plastic bottle? Is it a green, glass jar? Is it a clear glass jar? Is it a brown glass jar? Is it this? So
I think the 3 ways to simplify it, if you could even do this all across the nation, would be glass, plastic, paper. That's pretty easy, but just recycle is fine. I mean, they have sorting facilities for this very reason.
Yeah, I mean, you're giving free resources to multi-million-dollar companies, The fuck are these people?
Roar into recycling.
Yeah, so okay, that's worse. So they just bitch at people to recycle.
And look, I am the biggest proponent of recycling. I do it all the time, but this is cringe. Roar into recycling.
Here's my thing with recycling. It's why aren't we paid for that? If you want to get people to recycle, we're giving free resources to companies, to big companies. We should be compensated. I know, I used to recycle cans all the time because I get paid money for it.
Yeah, I think that would be a good thing.
We're recycling, or it should be a deduction on the trash bill. It's right where I live, I don't even have a recycling option. They don't do it over where I live, which is, it's fine to throw everything in the fucking garbage can. But
I just saw some too, because I saw the name. It made me think of it. I got a phone call today from one of our legacy guests, one of our past guests. Can you guess who it is?
Was it Milo?
No. Oh, if I got a call from Milo, I'd be fangirling and
in your pants.
All caps on it. My pants?
Special K?
No. She was with the Brexit party, allegedly.
Rebecca.
Cosmic Rebecca gave me a call and was asking how I was doing, and she was wondering if I was still doing the radio show. Well, actually, she assumed I was doing the radio show still. She was like, "Oh, I can come on. I can do this and that." Or like, "Are you still doing the radio show?" She was like, "Oh, when are you doing your next show?" Like, I'm in state college. I'm like, I don't do that anymore. I'm working on the Trump campaign. Apparently, she's working with the Trump campaign too.
Get her to volunteer for your ass.
I should get her to do phone calls.
Bring her to your state college Trump rep.
I mentioned about
Only if you
that.
give Big Al a hand job.
Oh my god, I'll call her.
An hour afterwards, I'm not kidding you, I literally thought I forgot to ask her about Big Al. Like, they had a date set up, and like the chemistry, it was fucking kinetic.
There was a buzz.
There was a
connection.
buzz. You could tell that there was something brewing, and I wanted to know if she went on the hot date with him, because I think they would have made a great couple. I mean, they're both traveling all the time. They could travel together. They could eat together. They could sleep together.
I wonder if they went all the way.
And the truck bed. Like they had like the fucking big rig, the sleeping compartment. Bring her with her to go and do a
I got a
lot.
bed in the back of this trailer.
You do a very good impression of Big Al.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I do a lot of good impressions.
I know.
Oh my god. Yeah, you should get her with your state college rep, Trump rep, to go and get her on the campaign.
Oh, he would love to have her under his wings.
God.
Oh, she even asked about T. She's like, "Is your assistant? I forget her name. Is she still working at the radio?" I'm like, "Oh, T. Yeah, she's busy with schoolwork."
Do they even have the radio right now? I thought it was shut down.
God, I forget. Their recent email, I think, said that they are open now again and doing shows, but it's very limited. Like, you can only do an hour, and there can only be one person in there at a time.
That sucks.
Yeah. Oh God, look at this, dude. They're stealing our shit. These eco reps, dude. This is the fucking like worst thing I didn't know about. Look at this.
Describe it to me.
Oh, you still RuneScaping?
What the fuck, recycling? Oh god, they stole that shit.
Yeah, it changed my mind. This is like fucking like trash monster.
Why do these people get fucking paid that much money? Are these the people that made that like shitty art exhibit thing we saw, and they like,
Oh my God.
they like harassed you after you took a picture?
Yo, they were so triggered over that. I took a picture of a fucking video, I think.
Yeah, like, dude, like, come on. Like, what's he gonna do? Upload it to the internet? Like, maybe it's like a cringe compilation because it was like someone like dancing in trash.
Oh, we need to talk about something else too.
Oh boy.
The fact that our guy, the conservative banned from Twitter that we invited to Penn State, is now voting for Joe Biden. Did you see that?
Oh god.
Hunter Avlone.
Oh god. Oh yeah, that guy, that motherfucker over there. Thank God I never like spent any time with him. Like I think I went on his fucking interview. That dude seemed like a piece of shit. Like what's the big thing you're known for? Oh, I came in a girl and I didn't abort it. Like that's your claim to fame. Like dude, like so many people do that. You know, it's fucking grifter.
Wow, he tweeted out nationalism in general is tacky as fuck.
What a fucking cuck. Like, what has he really done in life? Like, oh, I was conservative. Like, man, who even listens to this?
Dude, like, he's pivoting full on SJW. Conservatives when violent white supremacy is on the rise. Meh. Conservatives when I say hanging an American flag in your house looks tacky. You monster, this is where I draw the line.
What's wrong with hanging a fucking flag in your house?
He thinks it looks tacky.
So
First of all, Hunter, the white supremacy on the rise thing, like, I don't know where that stat comes from, but it makes no sense because you see this shit going on. There's, like, when's the last time you heard of, like, a white supremacy crime?
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, well, George Floyd. Well, that wasn't fucking white supremacy. That was You know, there was a lot of shit going down with that, but I tell you what, if George Floyd was white, he probably would have got the same treatment. I don't think it was a white versus black thing. That was a that was a police thing, but that wasn't fucking white versus black.
Yeah.
You get told 50 times to, you resist arrest like 50 fucking times.
I feel like he felt like he felt like he had to grift.
Oh yeah, nah,
because he's not really relevant. He's losing, he's losing followers. He's losing, he's probably losing YouTube revenue, and so I think he's trying to do something to kind of make him somewhat sort of not really relevant again, I guess.
Open up a fucking OnlyFans.
Also I'm looking at his Twitter too, and he said, like, in the tweet where he announced that he's voting Biden, he goes, as much as, and first of all, I don't know how he has this Twitter, because he's banned from Twitter, and he initially said this account is run by his, like, secretary or sidekick or whatever, but he speaks in first person as if it's his. In other words, it is his account. Like, no, it's no secret, I think. He says, as much as it pains me, I've officially decided to cast my vote for Joe Biden. I hate the two-party system, man. I always thought he'd be a Jurgensen voter. I thought he was going to vote Jurgensen this round. Like, I picked the Libertarian, but I guess not. He said, I hate two-party. He went full on. He said, I hate the two-party system, but I need to choose lesser of two evils. Donald Trump is unhinged and a threat to our country's founding principles. So Joe Biden it is. Yeah, like, Joe Biden is going to adhere to our country's founding principles. Okay.
What the fuck? Yeah, like, this guy is supposed to be like pro-life or something, but he's voting for a pro-abortion candidate. Like, either isn't he the type of person that says, like, every aborted fetus that's like murder, right? Is he that sort of person?
Yeah, he's pretty hardcore into pro-life stuff.
If abortion's murder and you're voting for the party that promotes abortion, then you are more fine with someone who commits, advocates for murder than for someone who has mean tweets.
Yeah. Like,
I want to go see fucking Sargon debate this motherfucker.
Oh,
again.
Dude, that would be lit. Oh.
I'm not the biggest fucking Sargon fan, but this guy really is fucking pissing me off. Yeah. Like, I really don't like fucking Hunter Avalone or whatever.
He also retweeted a thing because he got into a beef with the Quartering, Jeremy from the Quartering, which I've grown to like that guy a lot. I didn't know anything about him.
Fucking who was that? The Boulder guy.
The Boulder guy?
Dude who, he was false flagging people and then he dug up boulders in his backyard. What? You know who I'm talking about. Mundane Man. It reminds me of Mundane Man.
Oh. Well, Jeremy from the Quartering, though, I first found out about this guy through his Hunter Avalon videos where he, were this drama star of Hunter. Like, somebody posted them and he was like, because that's where the Quartering was breaking, showing these clips where Hunter was calling Sargon a white nationalist. It's like, dude, I was shocked to see that. It really shocked me. And so he obviously has some beef with the Quartering. So he retweets Joe Vargas, tweets him about the Quartering. Oh, it's the guy Angry Joe, dude. He says, I don't share personal DMs like Jeremy at the Quartering does, but know this. He doesn't believe half the shit he pells. I have the receipts to prove it. He's also proud of, quote, weaponizing autism.
Oh my god.
You act like that's a bad thing. His words, not mine. Guys like this are cancer on YouTube and the internet in general. So he's
fucking cancer on YouTube. Like, what the fuck has he contributed?
Yeah.
He just says edgy shit and then, that's all he fucking does. He has no true beliefs in anything.
I love how he acts like this is a gotcha. He's also proud of weaponizing autism.
Dude, it's a fucking joke.
It's a meme. We all say it all the time.
I'm pro-life, a threat. Obviously, you're not if you're voting for Joe Biden.
God, I don't get it.
That's the thing I don't understand. If you truly believe that abortion is murder, how? Because I have relatives who are Catholic and very pro-life, but who probably voting for fucking Joe Biden. I'm like, how the fuck can you do the mental gymnastics? Either abortion isn't murder, or you're knowingly voting for a murderer/murderer promoter. What do you have to do to, justify that in your head? Because I can't justify that.
Yeah, I just don't. Oh wait, what is this? Yeah, he started like a beef with Blair White too.
Yeah, I hear interesting things about Blair White, but
Yeah, I do too. But like this, she like apparently in a recent video, she kind of screwed up a little bit. But I mean, it's like, and she didn't really. I don't know how she addressed it, but he's like exposing Blair White. Like, okay.
Was he fucking leafy?
Yeah. God.
Is he leaking DMs now? I thought he just said he doesn't do that.
No, that was somebody else. Like I said, he retweeted.
He can use other people's leaked DMs, but it's
No. He retweeted Angry Joe, and Angry Joe was talking about leaking DMs. Let's see.
Like, I'm so glad I didn't give this guy the time of day, because he just seems like he has no fucking core belief system.
Oh God, I knew it. He's a Breonna Taylor apologist. And we all know the truth of that story. He goes, so what? Like, because he's retweeting a Daily Mail article. It says, cops release photos that show Breonna Taylor holding a gun to her boyfriend, used to fire at police. And Hunter goes, so what? How is executing your Second Amendment rights incriminating? If any right-wingers try and use these photos to justify Taylor's horrific death, then I hope they're ready to condemn Caitlin Bennett as a violent thug also. Like, whoa. Back the fuck up.
Okay, as much as, I don't really like either of those fucking people. Fucking Caitlin Bennett, she's something else. But, she's never fired on police, to my knowledge.
Yeah, she never had a boyfriend, to my knowledge, that dealt drugs and helped them deal drugs. And then when the cops knock on their door, with a no-knock warrant, they knocked on the door, didn't, like, open the door and go, hey, how's it going, officer? Instead, they grabbed the guns, and they actually shoot at a cop and wound one of them and almost killed them. I don't think Caitlin Bennett has done that, and I don't think that's exercising your Second Amendment right.
And your Second Amendment right to shoot at police officers. Like, what the fuck is this guy smoking? Sound like some of it.
It's a mix of libertarian and SJW.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Piece of work.
Like, yeah, that's fucking retarded. Like, what? Like, this dude has just completely gone fucking grift style.
Griff style. Took a sip of that Griff Sunday. This is another tweet. Conservatives. Quote, systematic racism is nothing but a victim narrative. Grow up, snowflakes. Also conservatives. Oh my God, big tech is systematically censoring conservatives.
They are. They fucking are, though. Like, this guy has to be blind or, just a piece of shit to not see that.
See, and this is where the downfall of Hunter, like, accelerated. Is what the statement he's about to say next, which is what he said at Penn State and it went viral, is when he says, let's this be your daily reminder there is no evidence of big tech disproportionately targeting or censoring conservatives. The lack of transparency can make it seem that way, but the data doesn't support these claims. It's a victim narrative.
No, there's a pretty good bit of data on there.
The most prominent conservatives have all been banned. Name any prominent leftists that have been banned.
This week put that all to fucking bed. All of that. Even if you had the ability, even if you could muster up the ability to fucking rationalize a lot of the shit that's been happening for the last 4 years. Like this week, there's no doubt. There's no doubt from what happened this week. You blocked these media outlets actively blocked a URL from a news site and then admitted to it. Like, they had people that were admitting to it. And then like that's it. It's over. You had the one communications dude from fucking Facebook that actively said he was they were limiting the traffic to that URL, to that news URL. That he basically admitted, yeah, we're censoring that.
Well, here's the thing too. It's like this is definitely on one side because guess what? When they had Trump's, when they leaked his tax returns, they didn't limit that.
But yeah,
Okay.
Well,
But,
and also,
yeah.
and somebody brought this up at the event. It's like, dude, don't you know about the Project Veritas videos and the exposés done on Google where they've literally admitted and said 2016 was a fluke and we're not going to let it happen again?
what was his response to that?
I think his response was, I haven't seen that, from what I remember.
You should go and fucking message him. Is he still in our like, man?
He
I
is still the server.
Man, he really grinds my gears.
I know. Oh, and also, he sent out this tweet at when the vice presidential debate was happening, and it shows a picture of the fly on Mike Pence, and he says, "Flies always land on pieces of shit."
Oh, that's a real good debate.
Like-
You're really getting the important news. That shit right there. It's not complete bullshit at
That's
all.
very good. That's very good political analysis coming from the grifter almighty Hunter Avalon.
He also says in another tweet, Mike Pence fucking sucks.
If you're as pro-life as you say you are, obviously you don't care. You don't care about being pro-life. The only thing you fucking accomplished was, not pulling out, and that's pretty much like is that his like only real accomplishment? He didn't pull out and he kept the kid.
Yeah, I guess.
Like what else has he done?
He's he's retweeted Bernie Sanders. That's what he's done.
Oh, he's retweeted someone. Oh, that's hard work to retweet Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Not like millions of people on the fucking internet who've retweeted Bernie Sanders. And guess what? They're fucking Democrats for the most part. And God, what a piece of shit. What a, complete, utter pile of human excrement.
Oh my god, dude, this tweet. Oh god. This is something else. He retweeted the Walk Away Guys event in Washington. It was March on Washington. Hashtag Walkaway presents the hashtag Unsilent Majority. And it has Scott Presler, Blair White, Vern Jones, Troy Villa, Maj Touré, Dan Crenshaw, Katie Hopkins, and a bunch of other people. And Hunter says, this would be so much less cringy if I were invited also. But walking away from the right isn't as lucrative, sadly.
Hold your own fucking event, buddy. What have you even really done that was ever fucking right wing? It's just not pull out. You didn't get an abortion.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. People have done that for thousands of years. But it's special when a straight white male does it versus, tons of other people who've been doing it since before he was even fucking born. But,
Yeah, I'm reading all his tweets. He sounds like a lefty and like a left-wing libertarian. Oh, he says Project Veritas is a joke, and you're a joke for thinking they're authoritative in the slightest. You cite Alex Jones. You had no real argument. Wow, you don't remember getting pissed at you? Perhaps I was making jokes. Probably see the snowflake getting triggered by comedy. And he's attacking Count Dankula.
Man, they need to go and start calling out this motherfucker.
Oh my god, dude. This
guy is such a shit. Such a piece of shit. No redeeming qualities to that man. Nothing. I don't even see why the left likes him because he's, fucking pro-life and,
Oh, Shoe on Head said, I basically went liberal who talks about culture versus a liberal who talks about economics sometimes. At Hunter Avalon, I'm going to just call him that, first handle. Went from conservative poster boy to center left, ? So I cannot imagine how much shit he gets. If you haven't followed or subscribed to him, you should. No. Now that I've left the right, oh my god, he asked, oh my god, dude, this is funny. He did a Twitter poll. He said, now that I've left the right, who do you think I'll vote for? I'm not voting third party. and they picked Trump Biden, 85% Biden.
Well, yeah, if he says he's not voting libertarian, like who else is he gonna vote for if he's left or the right?
I know, it's so stupid.
Like, yeah, he's a fucking attention whore. That's all he is. And people keep feeding his attention whore ass.
Oh my God, there's this. Okay, Caitlin Bennett has this shirt that says "Trump is my king," and she says Donald Trump isn't just my president; he's my king. Get your shirt today, libertyhangout.org. And he retweets and says, "Ignoring the Constitution to own the libs."
It's a fucking joke.
I know.
I guess, he only understands satire when it's,
Yeah.
said by John Oliver.
Yeah. And so he gets 11,000 likes for that tweet.
Yeah, you need to go start calling his ass out. Because he's, you brought him over there. It's like, dude, what have you done? Like, you got your ass owned by a fucking fat British dude.
Yeah. Yeah. God, this guy is going off the rails. Like, every tweet is him attacking the right, attacking the right, attacking the right, criticizing the right, attacking the right, attacking.
Who's even really a friend of, like, it's like, you even actually gives a shit about what this guy says.
Well, when he's attacking Turning Point.
Oh, the same people that fucking brought you over here. I see how it goes.
Wow. This is defamatory, and Kenneth Walker should sue Charlie Kirk. Wow. Sue Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, go for it. Go. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I'd love to go see fucking someone go and take this bitch to court for just fucking being defamatory.
Oh, he's attacking Sydney Watson, too, who we were trying to get on before. He says, friendly reminder that this reactionary shill doesn't give a shit about any deaths. She called George Floyd a criminal porn star drug addict. Accurate. As if that justifies state executing someone without due process. She only exploits poor baby step because it fits her agenda. See, whenever somebody says, like let's say George Floyd is criminal, they're not justifying the death by saying that. They're saying, like, you guys are acting like this person's an angel and they did nothing wrong. We're trying to say there's more context here, and he's not some perfect person they should prop up as a hero. Because you're the same side that says that we shouldn't prop up Christopher Columbus, but it's okay to prop up George Floyd.
Yeah, like, yeah, I heard stuff about that porn star stuff.
Yeah.
It's an interesting rabbit hole with that. I mean, hey, man.
Wow, he called his wife a queen. That's okay.
Oh, I actually gotta say that. What's going on here, buddy?
This is
Obviously,
pretty bad.
Standards. But
yeah, we can go on, but like, yeah, this is pretty bad.
Anything else you want to go over today?
I'm getting a new phone.
Oh, really? It's another iPhone.
Yes, of course. Okay, this is actually something I should tell Phil about. Oh, he left. Damn it. I think he fell asleep. They're doing a really good deal on the phones right now because they just announced the iPhone 12 the other day, which is a full-fledged 5G phone. I know conspiracy theories are going to have a field day with that. I don't have any feelings about 5G other than it can open up a lot of possibilities as long as it's not Chinese shit. But they're doing this really cool deal with pretty much every phone company where they're giving you massive discounts on the iPhone 12 if you trade in an iPhone 6 and up. I have the 8. I got the 8 right when it came, like the year it came out. I don't know how long afterwards, but I got it, I think a few months after. Yeah, a few months. It was in 2017, like December 2017. And I've had it for 3 years. So it's been a solid phone. I love it. Now I'm getting the 12. And we were looking, and the phones were... Why don't I know tweets come up here? We're looking, and they're basically offering trade-in deals that paid for the phone for the most part. And we were looking around. What carrier do you have?
I have AT&T.
See, I do currently have AT&T.
See, I used to love Verizon so much more. Fuck AT&T.
Well, wait, why'd you switch to AT&T?
Oh, it's my brother wanted to do that, and my mom was like, okay.
Oh, you're still on their plan.
Yeah, why not?
Nice.
Why would I have my own plan?
Dude,
You know,
I don't blame you. I'm just shocked you still have it. You're still able to pull that
it
off.
doesn't make any sense not to, stay on someone else's things that give you such fucking good discounts.
That's true. Until you have a family, I'd say stay on a other family plan. But yeah, we were on AT&T. We are on AT&T currently, but we saw on because explain the situation. I have an iPhone 8. My mom has an iPhone 8. My brother still has an old flip phone, and my dad has the iPhone SE, which is very old.
Is that like iPhone 1?
What was that?
What is the SE? Is that like the first one?
No, that's dude. That doesn't even work like on any cell networks now. That's I forget how old that is, but it's like it's probably like 6 years old. I'm gonna guess it's pretty.
I thought the first one would still work. It's still they still have 3G, I think, right?
No, the first I don't even know. No, the first one wasn't even 3G.
Oh.
It was 2G, I guess if that's a thing.
Oh, you can still get like flip phones and stuff.
Yes, but this is what I'm gonna explain too. I don't know if you've gotten this from AT&T yet, but the iPhone SE is from 2016.
Oh, that's not that old.
No, it's not as old as I thought it was. 4 years ago, yeah. The thing that's happening now is that AT&T sent out a thing and said if your phone isn't 5G compatible, your phone won't work anymore. iPhone 8 is 5G compatible. iPhone 12, I don't know what the difference is. I guess it's like 5G optimized or something different. Where like it can take advantage of the 5G speeds. It's basically the iPhone 5G. So they're doing these deals, and I think it's to get rid of phones. I think it's also to get people on the 5G shit. But with our current situation with our phones, we were looking around, and my dad could, if he went with AT&T, he would have had to pay to upgrade his phone because his phone won't work when they make the 5G switch in like a year or two. With Verizon, you could upgrade for free to the latest iPhone SE, and we could all upgrade to the iPhone 12s, and my brother could even get an iPhone SE for free, and we get the iPhone 12s for almost free. The other thing you get through Verizon is $10 off your, I think, cable bill every single month forever, and you get Hulu and Disney Plus included for no extra charge.
Is that T-Mobile?
No, Verizon.
Oh no, yeah, go with Verizon. They're good.
And that's what we're doing.
Like honestly, I've been trying to talk my mom to going back to Verizon because fucking AT&T sucks ass.
It
like
does.
I don't have any connection like a couple miles away. Like it sucks significantly compared to Verizon. Like I really don't like that my brother made convince her to do that, and it's so shit.
Your brother would.
He had his own plan or whatever, or he was with my grandma's plan. That was AT&T, so he's like, "Oh, go to AT&T because he gets more money off that or something."
Well, at the time when we got AT&T, it was cheaper. Like it was the better deal. But now Verizon, I never thought we'd be switching cell carriers, but dude, Verizon is way better deal. Like it's a no-brainer.
I don't see anything. Like I'm looking online, and I don't see anything saying it's required to have a 5G phone. It says they offer it in some markets, but I don't think where I'm at they offer 5G and everywhere.
We got an email about it's not taking into effect for a while, but you're required to have a 5G compatible phone. So my brother's would definitely not work.
Do you have a link to that?
I can find it, yeah.
So I'm looking online. I don't see anything about that.
Yeah. So also, if I were you too, because this is a short window, only lasting till I think October 26th. I know you're not an iPhone user, but they're still offering, I think, really good deals on other phones right now. I would talk to your parents about this because the Verizon people are offering pretty good deals because they have an exclusive thing with Apple right now too. Well, yes, AT&T is going to be rolling out 5G, but Verizon's already on it. So they were saying like, look, day one you can get iPhone 5G. I almost call it iPhone 5G. iPhone 12 working on 5G right out of the box if you're on Verizon.
Well, I know, like, there was an attachment for my home that would make it 5G compatible if it was on Verizon's network.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I would just say like if you can upgrade your phone, I think there's certain caveats to these deals, but like I would look into it if I were you right now, just to see what's available.
Not too long ago, too. Like, my mom accidentally like broke it. She smacked it on my hand and hit the concrete and it broke. So she bought me a new phone after that. And that was like back in August. So I'm not upgrading anytime soon. I like my phone.
Yeah, I'm just saying I would look into it though.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, anyways, anything else? Anything else major going on?
What do I have on my list here? Man, we're getting late. Shit, I'm gonna have to go soon. But I talked about Hunter. Yeah, pretty much everything I want to talk about in this. Talking about other stuff later. But that's all I got for today. I guess we should cut the stream here. There's not much more to talk about. Excuse me. Oh, Hunter was in a debate with what's his Count Dankula.
Oh,
I gotta see that.
Yeah, I'm interested in that, but he got his ass kicked.
Wow. Well, we're gonna call it a night. Maybe we'll have a phone review in a few weeks. I can talk about the iPhone 12, which will be interesting.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in. I know it was a long stream, late night, went longer than I expected for somebody who's like very, very tired today. And I know you're pretty exhausted too, but we're going to cut her off right now once I pull up the live stream. We'll be back next week with more real news. Like, subscribe, share if you're still listening this far into the video. And if you have, that's amazing. I know I wouldn't make it this far. Well, actually I am, but in somebody else's video I might not. But we'll see you guys later. Have a nice evening. We have 2 weeks out from the election. We're going to do one more show, a second show, and then we're going to do an election special on the night of the election because it's going to be a madhouse, and hopefully I can give some cool insight into it. So have a nice night, and wash your hands.
Yeah, take it easy, folks.
Wash the hands.